I've put together the most helpful videos I've ever made to help you start your photography business step by step. If you're serious about making money with your camera, keep watching. I've been in the game for over 34 years. I've seen many talented photographers stay stuck, stay frustrated, and underpaid simply because they're making these avoidable mistakes. I guarantee if you recognize even one of these habits in yourself and take the steps to reverse it, you're gonna see powerful changes to move yourself forward. Number 1, procrastination. Waiting for the perfect moment is a career killer. Whether it's launching your website or starting that project or reaching out to clients, tomorrow never comes. Action creates opportunities. Number 2, inaction. You can read all the books and watch all the tutorials you want, but if you're not applying what you learn, nothing will change. Knowledge without action is useless. Number 3 is fear of failure. Fear is a big one. If you fail once and decide that that's the end, you're never going to get anywhere. Failures are lessons, they're not stop signs. Number 4, it's perfectionism. Waiting for the perfect conditions to start your work, to have the right gear, or to have the perfect portfolio is a sure way to stay poor. Done is definitely better than perfect. Number 5 is avoiding discomfort. Pushing beyond your comfort zone is where the real growth happens. Whether it's networking, selling your services, or learning new skills, discomfort, that's what leads to success. Number 6 is inconsistency. Starting something and not following through is the quickest way to kill your momentum. Consistency is key. It's what turns ideas into actual income. Number 7 is neglecting sales. Your work won't sell itself. You actually have to promote and sell your services. The biggest mistake is thinking talent alone is going to bring you clients. It won't. Number 8 is the blame game. Blaming your circumstances, the economy, or other people for your lack of success is going to keep you stuck. Take ownership of your situation and focus on what you can actually control. Number 9 is short-sightedness. Focusing on the quick wins instead of long-term vision is going to leave you stuck in a cycle of small, unsustainable gains. You need to think about building a career, not just getting by. Number 10 is financial mismanagement. Spending more than you earn or living beyond your means is a huge reason that good photographers stay poor. Learning to manage your finances, that's so crucial to creating a sustainable career. We've covered the top 10 reasons why good photographers stay poor. Ideas are powerful. Here's my theory. Every time you get an idea, it's actually a message from yourself in the future. Think of it as your future self saying this: wake up, do this right now. If you ignore these ideas, you're diverging from a path that your future self has laid out for you. These ideas, these thoughts that suddenly pop into your head, you gotta ask yourself, where do they come from? Philosophically speaking, you could say that they come from God, or they come from the universe, or in a non-theistic sense, they're from your future self. That might sound a little bit out there, but consider this. The universe knows the past, the present, and the future. And it knows it all at once, right? So if you believe in God, believe that He wants us to succeed. He wants us to make the right choices. How often have you had a strong gut feeling, an intuition not to do something, like not go to an event, not go on the subway, and later you find out that something bad happened there? That's no coincidence. That was a thought in your head, that warning. That was your future self looking out for you. We're often taught about our 5 basic senses, but what about those moments that you can't explain, that transcend them? Moments where we feel almost too connected beyond time and space. Right now I'm here speaking, yet I'm also reaching you wherever you are by using technology. I'm merely speaking words, but words are code. I'm putting sound into your ears, yet they're being understood and they're currently transcending physical space and time. You're understanding my thoughts. You're doing this by understanding a code that I've created at a later time than I'm recording this and in a space that I don't exist in. Whether you're making photographs or writing your thoughts or making a video, creation is powerful. And all creation started as an idea, even you. Therefore, ideas are even more powerful than the act of creating those ideas. Ideas are not just random thoughts, they're signals, they're roadmaps, they're messages, and often they're warnings or praise from your future self. When you ignore these signals, you're actually blindly choosing a different path, and you're diverging from what might have been amazing. When you don't act on your ideas, you're actually changing your reality in a negative way. Sadly, most people have no clue about the importance of our ideas, which makes it impossible for them to use this incredible power. They stick to their routine, their mindset, their paradigm, and they ignore these profound intuitions, and then they wonder why their lives aren't changing. This is why mindset is everything. The moment that you shift your mindset, you open yourself up to success, and you're listening to those intuitive thoughts and you're acting on them. But it takes courage to listen to your ideas and even more courage to act on them. The real change happens when you act on those brilliant ideas that appear inside your consciousness. I have a unique approach to teaching and communicating, obviously, which many might find a bit like a fire hose of information. Sometimes it knocks you over, but it's intense, it's focused, and it's abundant. I know that it might feel overwhelming at times, but this approach is integral to the learning journey that we're about to embark on. I carefully tailor and focus every single bit of information to suit your needs. I'm here to guide you through a stream of consciousness that's packed with tons of stuff that you need to know and understand. As I gain more understanding, I do my best to filter what I learn and I share it here. And also I tell you why it could be relevant to you. For those of you who are in my masterclass, you know the masterclass doesn't stop when the class ends. I provide you with my notes and I give you weekly resources afterwards, something that I believe that is essential but never happens in teaching. When we're trying to build something, we need all the help that we can get. So make sure you're using all your resources. The members of my masterclass help me make my content monumentally better than it would be without exchanging with the pros that I work with this way. In exchange, I always over-deliver. Your audience always tells you what they need and what they want. It's your job to give them more than expected of what they need and what they want. I like to think that every piece of content that I make is like a pile of sticks. I carefully bundle them together and I metaphorically throw them on your doorstep. And they're not just random sticks. They represent a structured knowledge that I've meticulously gathered for you. And on top of this bundle, I give you detailed instructions, the guidance that you need to navigate through this wealth of information. This pile of information, by the way, just gets bigger and bigger and more overwhelming if you aren't using the information that I give you right away to start building. Navigating through the immense flow of information in life is like sifting through a fire hose of data. It's critical to distinguish between what's important and what's not, especially for us creatives who are constantly scattered and we're buzzing with ideas. This is where the concept of the second brain comes in. It's a system to externalize, organize, and process our thoughts and our ideas effectively. Leave a comment, by the way, if you want me to deep dive more on the second brain theory and how you can use it in an upcoming video. Our personal problems, by the way, the obstacles that we face, they often seem like they're huge, insurmountable barriers. But here's the thing, they are in many ways just an illusion. When you spin your problems around or look at them from a different angle, yeah, they're still there, but their form changes. This is how we need to handle challenges, by holding them in our hand, examining them, and then setting them aside so we can gain a clearer, more focused perspective. Shifting perspective is not just about seeing things differently, it's about fundamentally altering our understanding of a situation. It's like standing in one spot, appreciating it, but then moving to another spot and realizing that the view from there is even better. It's about constantly looking at where you've been to gain new insights about where you should be going. We all have blind spots in life. Just like when we're driving, these blind spots are formed by our conditioning, our habitual ways of thinking, and our habitual ways of doing things. They're so ingrained in us that often we don't even realize that they exist. But here's the kicker. These blind spots are where our failures sneak up on us. That's why it's crucial to shift our perspective, to step away from our usual viewpoints and see things from a fresh angle. People don't realize that our life, our creativity, our work, it's all a manifestation of something divine. We all come from a higher power. We're all creators in our own right. Think about it. We see something, we capture it. We save it forever. Or we have an idea and then we bring it to life through our photography, and that idea is saved forever. That process of turning a concept into reality, that's divine. It's like planting a seed and nurturing it until it bears fruit for everybody to enjoy. And here's an important piece. Don't underestimate the value of what you create. If you don't see the value in your work, you'll hesitate to share it with the world. But the moment that you say, hey, I have this work and it's valuable, you open yourself up to new opportunities. If you want to make commerce from your art, first start by valuing your art and then create art that has value. Walk this way and you'll start to transform how you see things. Remember, your work is giving the world value. And if you always bring value, whether it's a new perspective on street photography, product photography, portraits, or whatever it is your specific niche, we don't have to sell when we're making people aware of the transformation that they'll experience through our work and service. Remember, all of this, every single bit of your life and career boils down to mindset. Our brain, it's a computer. It's simply running the programs that we've downloaded by the people that raised us. We start downloading those programs the second that we have consciousness. What do we watch on TV? Programs. What do we download and run on our computer? Programs. Our brain is just a computer that's running the programs that we've downloaded from those that raised us, our parents, our teachers, our friends. If your life isn't working, it might be time for you to make room for some newer and better programs. The moment that you shift how you think, how you perceive, you open doors to success and fulfillment that you never thought possible. That's the journey that I'm inviting you to join me on. A journey of shifting your perspective, seeing the divine in our creations, and embracing the power of our mindsets. So I hope you'll stay with me. Prepare for a journey that's rich in real information for creatives like you. Also, my goal is to equip you with the tools and the understanding that you need. I hope your goal is to make the most of the information that I share here and apply it effectively in your creative business so you can flourish. How does a small photography business make $10,000 in 7 days while other photography businesses with thousands of followers are struggling?
This is the Carty method.
It's easy to assume that having a large following means you're making bank, but in reality, only a few of those photographers with huge audiences are actually earning what you'd think. Even more surprisingly, some photographers only get a couple of hundred views per post, yet generate over 15,000 per month, and some of those only started making pictures consistently a couple of years ago. Something doesn't add up, right? The secret that many photographers overlook. What's happening here is that successful photographers are choosing to take an option that many other photographers just ignore. It's fast, it's efficient, and it involves niching down instead of chasing the masses. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this works so you can do it too. It's a 4-step process, one with a bit of an unfortunate acronym, but stick with me because I promise you it's a game changer. But before diving in, let me explain why most photographers end up spending years trying to make money, struggling, becoming slaves to the trends, and ultimately failing. Two types of photographers, the generalist versus the specialist. Imagine two photographers. We'll call them photographer 1 and photographer 2. Both started at roughly the same time, but their strategies were completely different, and so were their results. Photographer 1 has spent 5 years trying to build as large a following as possible. Finally, they've grown enough to just barely afford to go full time, maybe even hire a bit of help. Amazing. Photographer 2, on the other hand, they've only been at it for 2 years, but they're on the verge of quitting their day job and they're already paying an assistant and a retoucher. This frees up their time to focus on making money, not spending hours on the things that don't directly grow their business. In just 1 more year, photographer 2 will be making 10 times more than photographer 1. But why? The trap of trying to appeal to everyone. Let's say both photographers are working in a similar niche like lifestyle or business portraits. Photographer 1 decided to appeal to as many people as possible. One day they're making family portraits, the next day they're covering events, and then they're shooting landscape. Their aim is to get as many clients and followers as possible by being flexible and varied. Photographer 2, however, they asked themselves a different question. Who can I serve better than anyone else with my skill set and my experience? Then they committed to that answer and that answer only. They decided to focus solely on creating polished editorial style portraits for entrepreneurs. That's it. No events, no landscapes, no weddings, just entrepreneurs who want powerful, professional portraits. By doing this, they built a smaller but more engaged following of people who have the same problem and want a consistent solution. Why specificity wins every time. Imagine both photographers' audiences as these 2 cups that I'm going to fill with Smarties. Photographer 1, he's green. He's been focusing on filling his cup with all sorts of different colors, representing the various problems that their followers have. Some want family portraits, others want product shots, others need headshots. They're trying to appeal to the most amount of people, but because their audience is so mixed, any product or service they offer is only interesting to a fraction of those followers, and they're only able to focus a fraction of their time on each one of these colors, so they can only ever be average at any one of them. Photographer 2, on the other hand, has a jar full of Smarties, but they're only one color. They represent the specific problem that they solve. That single color represents their specialty, their obsession. They only show one type of work. That's their expertise. They are experts in solving that problem. Their entire audience is made up of people who have that problem. That makes their earning potential not only easier, but far more lucrative. Because photographer one isn't seen as an expert in any one of those areas, the red smarties aren't convinced and the yellow smarties aren't convinced because there's simply not enough trust. This is why photographer one ends up having to lower their prices, and it's harder to convince people to buy. And it even leads to either a race to the bottom or backlash, with people feeling like this offer has no value and it's just a cash grab. Meanwhile, photographer two has cultivated trust around solving one specific problem. They're charging 10 times more for their services, and they're getting 10 times the clients because they've spent time building up authority in their niche. Free content builds trust. Paid content builds wealth. The key to photographer number two's success was creating a clear, specific offer once they had established trust. This offer could be anything from a specialized photo shoot, a branding package, business portraits, or even mentorship for entrepreneurs that are looking to enhance their visual brand. Whatever it was designed to solve a specific problem in a clear way, which is why their audience responded with enthusiasm. The power of going that extra mile. Photographer two also went further in how they treated their clients. You can either give a Tiffany's level service or a Walmart level service. Photographer two took a great approach, whether it was sending a personal thank you note after a session, providing small little bonuses like a branded website with their images or a free 11x14 framed print, or even offering a free consultation on how to use their images effectively on social media. This photographer and those small gestures made their clients feel valued, not just another transaction, but as individuals who were truly seen and heard. This extra level of service makes photographer two stand out in an industry that's often transactional. It turns clients into repeat customers and enthusiastic referrers. Clients feel compelled to tell their colleagues about the experience, which leads to more referrals and less time hunting for new clients. How do you make big money as a small photographer in 2024? Follow the PISS framework. Number one is problem. Identify a significant problem that you have the expertise to solve. It should be specific but not too niche. You don't want to say, I help fidget spinner manufacturers in Alabama with social media images. Instead, you could say, I create powerful brand imagery for small business owners. The problem you solve should be tied to a pain point, something that affects their brand's perception, their client acquisition, or their income. Number two is information. Provide valuable information for free. This is your content, whether it's a blog post, your Instagram reel, your YouTube videos, all your newsletters, or even all of these combined. Use these platforms to consistently solve the problem that your niche faces. Over time, this builds immense trust and positions you as the go-to person for that solution. And number three, the first S is solution. Create a product or service that directly addresses the problem. This could be a comprehensive branding photo shoot package, a one-on-one visual strategy consult, or a retainer model for your services of regular content creation. The key is to make the offer specific, targeted, and genuinely helpful. And the second S is service with a twist. Go the extra mile for your client. Surprise them with the level of care that you provide. Send a thank you note, offer a small unexpected bonus or provide extra guidance. That makes clients feel valued and drives referrals. In the journey to becoming a successful photographer, it's easy to fall into the trap of focusing on all the wrong aspects of the craft. But notice this, through hundreds of hours of consulting with emerging and struggling photographers, I've realized that there's a pattern that seems to repeat itself over and over again. Even photographers with years of experience still don't know what they should be doing day to day in order to move their business forward. I studied this intensely and I know why this is happening. If that sounds like you, by the way, maybe you're majoring on the minors, or you're putting all your attention on minor things. Maybe you're minoring on the majors, which is putting no attention on the things that desperately need your attention. Either way, this could be leading to frustration, stagnation, and definitely missed opportunities. So let's break down these pitfalls so you can understand how to avoid them. If this is the first time you've ever seen me, I'm Carty. I help emerging and struggling photographers that are committed to changing their current 9-to-5 reality to the life of someone that gets paid for their ideas, their creativity, and their photography. I've been a working pro, by the way, for 33 years. You can learn more about me in the video description. I've been helping photographers just like you transition to working pro since 1995, and I'm here to help you create your ideal photography life through immersive professional education. The key to overcoming these challenges is to shift your focus to what genuinely contributes to your success. When you prioritize what actually propels your photography business forward, you can align your efforts with your goals and actually accelerate your progress. Many photographers invest heavily in high-end gear and lighting equipment, but they neglect to develop their skills in executing ideas or attempt to build any kind of client base. This results in having killer gear but no clients, killer lights but weak skills when it comes to knowing how to use them. Shift your focus from the equipment to your craft and client relationships. Invest time in learning and practicing new techniques. Take workshops, watch tutorials, and seek constructive feedback. Network with potential clients and collaborators, attend industry events, join photography groups, and actively promote your services. Learn to make the most out of your current equipment, understand its capabilities and its limitations, and focus on improving your technique rather than constantly upgrading gear. Some photographers prioritize social media metrics and their perceived value over the quality of their actual work. They care more about likes and followers than they do about honing their craft or being authentic. Focus only on producing high-quality work and actually being true to yourself. Prioritize creating outstanding work rather than churning out content for the sake of social media engagement. Your reputation will grow organically as a result of your high standards. Be genuine in your interactions and with your content. Share your journey, your insights, and your experiences rather than trying to project a certain type of image. Define clear, meaningful goals for your photography career that go beyond social media success. Focus on the long-term achievements rather than short-term popularity. Caring less about status and more about success means avoiding mindless content and focusing on beneficial information that actually addresses your specific problems. Prioritize learning and growth that directly contributes to your success. Seek out resources and training that addresses your specific needs and challenges. Avoid distractions and focus on information that'll actually help you progress. Be selective about the content that you consume. Follow experts who provide valuable insights and avoid content that doesn't add any real value to your development. Regularly evaluate your progress and adjust your learning goals. Stay committed to continually improving and always trying to learn. It's a lifelong thing. Many photographers overlook the value of intelligent imitation. They're trying to reinvent the wheel instead of learning from successful professionals in their niche. Use intelligent imitation to mirror successful photographers' strategies, their techniques, and their mindsets. Analyze the work of successful photographers in your niche niche, identify what makes their work stand out, and how they achieve those results. Adopt the techniques and practices that have been proven to work for decades. This includes using similar gear, applying similar shooting techniques, and adopting a professional mindset. While mirroring successful photographers, make sure you add your own unique touch. Adapt their strategies, but make sure they fit into your own style and vision, and innovate everywhere. To thrive as a photographer, it's critical to focus only on what really matters. By avoiding the pitfalls of majoring on the minors and minoring on the majors, and instead focusing on genuine growth and using intelligent imitation, you can align your efforts with your actual photography goals. This strategic approach will not only enhance your skills and your client relationship, but also set you on a path to long-term success. Remember, success in photography is not just about gear or social media numbers. It's about honing in on your craft, building meaningful relationships, and continually learning and adapting. Embrace these principles, and you'll find yourself on a fulfilling and prosperous photography journey. Are you looking to take your photography to the next level and develop a photographic style that is completely unique and unmistakably you? Welcome to the wonderful world of photography, where your unique visual signature is your ticket to success. How we see with the camera, your photographic style is as unique as you are. It's what sets you apart from the crowd and draws people to your work. If you want to make a big mark in the photography world, you need to take inspiration from the masters of the past. These were the photographers that shot on film. They used minimal equipment and they created masterpieces without the help of post-production or Photoshop. They had a style that was so distinct that their work became instantly recognizable. Names like Joseph Karsh, Richard Avedon, Helmut Newton, these are photographers that still inspire today. The key is to find, invent, or reimagine your photographic style. Don't be afraid to break the rules or create new ones when it comes to your photography. Start by analyzing your photos and identifying what works. What makes them stand out? What are the reoccurring elements, the techniques, or the emotions that you want to emphasize? Once you have a clearer idea of your perspective, keep practicing and experimenting with different subjects, settings, and moods. To make your mark in the industry, develop techniques that are unmistakably you. Start with imitation if you must, but always strive to look inwards for inspiration. Take on self-directed projects that challenge you to push boundaries, to tell stories, and to create a visual signature that's distinctly your own. Don't rely on social media or other photographers at your level for inspiration. Rather, look at the masters of the past for inspiration and trust your own instincts when it comes to your creativity. Don't fall into the trap of Style of the Month Club. Just because a particular style is trending on Instagram, it doesn't mean that you should be shooting it. By doing so, you're only creating imitation-based work with no originality of your own. You'll be lost in a sea of photographers with no one remembering your name or your work. The masters of the past had one signature style, one look that defined their work. Today's successful contemporary photographers also have a single, solitary, unique style that sets them apart from the crowd. Martin Scholler, Platon, Jamil Shabazz are just few of the names that come to mind. Their work is so unique that it screams their name without as much as a photo credit. Your visual signature is your route to success. How you shoot, what you shoot, and how you make your mark on the photography world. Have a perspective. Develop a set of rules for your work, a technique, a hook that draws people in and keeps them coming back for more. Take a stand with your photography. Don't sit on the fence. Jay Maisel said it best. Shooting photographs without saying something is worse than speaking without saying something. Personal projects are the way to develop your signature style, your look and feel, your techniques. These are projects that come from the heart, where you work through your problems, through your technical issues, through your lighting problems, and you get to develop your skills without consequence. It's where you get to take risks. It's where you get to go out on a limb, and it's where your passion and love for photography can actually shine through. So, Go forth and shoot. Create your own content. Create your own signature style and leave your future clients and your future subjects speechless. Remember, a photographic style is not something that can be copied or borrowed, but rather something that is born from your own personal experience, from your own photographic challenges and endeavors. So go capture the world through your own lens and let that photographic style evolve and shine.
If you're a photographer, you have to both live and shoot to the limit. You have to push hard. You have to document your life. You have to do great things with your creativity while you're able.
Bob Marley said, "Once a man and twice a child, and everything is just for a while." After 30 plus years of being a pro, after working for magazines, ad agencies, after traveling, I've got some amazing advice to tell you. Today we're gonna get into 10 best pieces of advice I've ever been given as a photographer. Anybody with a camera can take pictures of beautiful people in beautiful locations with amazing hair, makeup, styling, jewelry. It takes a real photographer to shoot the rest of us. What kind of a photographer are you? Don't be a style of the month photographer. There's so many photographers that get all their inspiration just from Instagram, but when you really think about it, what's trending today is gone tomorrow. What you need to be is classic and timeless, because classic and timeless lasts forever. When I'm thinking about my photography, I'm always thinking about longevity. What will my photographs look like in 10 years, in 20 years? Am I going to be proud of my work when someone looks back at it? That's what I'm thinking about, classic and timeless. And that was another amazing piece of advice I was given. Any pro can make the photo. The thing that I realized early is making amazing photos and delivering exceptional service. Being so memorable, so fun, on such a vibe, so likable, as well as making amazing photos. Remember, anybody can make the photos, but if you're making the photos and you're grumpy, you're irritated, you're yelling at your staff, no one's gonna wanna be around that. You have to be a pleasure to be around and a great photographer. Lock this in. You can make money with your creativity. It takes confidence, it takes talent, but you can make money with your creativity. Creativity can't be transferred, it can't be learned. Our creativity has value. It's worth monetizing. Those of us who are less creative, those of them, they need us creatives, for our thoughts, our ideas, and our executions. Creativity is needed in every business. So if you have that talent for creativity, hone it, honor it, and learn how to monetize it. Best photography is egoless, soulful, and heartfelt. Saying something with our photography is the only goal. Shooting without saying something is actually worse than speaking without saying something. We got to be speaking with our camera. Shoot through the picture. There's no such thing as one shot, one kill. You getting that shot and saying, I got it, that's your launch point. Start there. If you start with your first amazing photo and then shoot 20 more, 30 more, 40 more, 50 more, 100 more frames, I guarantee you that frames 80 to 100 will be on such a nuanced, magical, National Geographic level, and you would have never got there if you didn't shoot through the photo. Don't stop at your first amazing picture. It's digital. Shoot lots. The person seeing our photograph, that's the only one that matters. And the hardest thing is, we have no control over the viewer. We can't coax them, we can't guide them one way or the other. The only thing that we can do is put our most into the capture, put our heart, our soul, do our best in post-production, and hope that we strike a chord, strike an emotional chord with the viewer. This is one that I can't say enough. Specialize. I don't care what type of photography you do. If you're not getting traction, the reason might be because you're not niched down into an area that people can search. Are you a car photographer? Are you a portrait photographer? Fashion photographer? These are all searchable terms. The jack of all trades, master of none headspace when it comes to photography. Oh, there's a boat. Oh, there's a car. Oh, there's a flower. Oh, there's a person. That portfolio is scattered and is not getting any attention. The portfolios that you're attracted to, the photographers that you're attracted to, all specialize. Specialists get paid more, they're in demand more, and they're respected. Specialists make this photography world go round. No generalist has ever become a famous photographer, ever. Specialize. Lastly, we have to create our own legend. No one's put on earth to make us famous. We, the creators, we got to do all the work, all the self-promotion, all the pre and post-production. Yes, we have family, friends, a support system, but it's up to us to carry our own torch. We have to light our own fires. We got to execute our own ideas. And most importantly, we have to say something powerful with our camera without words. Our photography is our voice. What are you gonna say?
Did you know that there are rules for shooting for magazines? It's an unwritten thing. Rarely are you gonna ever be able to find any information about what you need to do in order to shoot for magazines. Today we're gonna get into it. Stay tuned. Whatever type of photography work you do, if your goal is to be published in a magazine, then you need to follow what I call editorial magazine rules. These rules involve vertical and horizontal composition, as well as non-distracting but complementary backgrounds, and obviously truly making your subject the star. Editorial photography, I believe, is the art of promotion. Simplistic, easy to digest, with all the focus on your subject. Let's go over some covers and talk about how almost all magazines apply editorial rules to the photography that they choose to use. The photographers that they choose to work with understand these editorial rules, and they're willing to push the boundaries as to what can happen within a horizontal or a vertical frame. Following what I call editorial rules, these editorial shooters are the ones that get hired. No matter what you shoot, you should have this one thing in mind. Every vertical picture that you shoot is a potential cover, and every horizontal picture you shoot has the potential to be a double-page spread in a magazine, if you know how to compose. Make your horizontals special. Make your verticals special. Think about not biasing your subject dead center when you're shooting a horizontal image. Every horizontal image is a double-page spread. It's the coveted double-page spread. It's the most amount of retail you can get within a magazine. So what happens if you drop your subject right in the center of the frame on a horizontal spread? Well, every magazine is a left page and a right page, and there's a gutter. That gutter dips down. If you put your critical information in the center of the frame, your photo editor, your art director, the magazine designer has no place to put that photograph except for on one half of one page, either on the left half or the right half, top or bottom, with the text on the other. If you're shooting with a double page spread in mind, knowing that the center is going to be the gutter, you're going to put your importance, like the face, on the left frame or the right frame, and bias your composition so your eye moves through the picture to your subject. This approach will lead you to getting magazine work as well as advertising work if you do it right. The shooters that get hired the most have a great understanding of space. They have a great understanding of space within their photography, and they use this negative space as a contrast to their subject matter. When shooting your subjects, whether they're people, places, or things, try to use scale. Try to use non-distracting backgrounds, monochromatic backgrounds, a monochromatic location. Or if you're in the studio, maybe white, black, or gray seamless paper, or maybe a bold color if that color is in contrast to what your subject's wearing. What our goal is to make the subject a star and make the subject rip off the page. There are definitive rules for shooting for magazines. There are photographers that use these rules alongside their visual signature, their style, in order to make their work look like they shoot for magazines already. So even if you're a new photographer, there's a way to shoot for magazines. The idea is to understand editorial formatting, understand space, understand headroom, understand that you can't put your edge so close to that garment because when a magazine cuts full bleed, you lose roughly 1/4 inch all the way around the page. So if you have something that's claustrophobically close to the edge of your frame, you could lose it when you go to print. Matter of fact, if you're making photographic prints that go full bleed, you could lose those edges. So you have to give your photographs space. The photographers that you admire, they have a technical ability, they have a visual signature, and most importantly, they understand editorial rules. When we get hired to shoot for a magazine, most of the time, the photograph that we're going to create involves some sort of type on top of our photograph. So the more we understand negative space and the more we understand room and giving our images room, our subjects room to breathe, the better that our photographs will work with text. Courage is the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, difficulty. It's the ability to confront pain, uncertainty, intimidation, or even a challenge without being overcome by fear. Courage allows individuals to step outside their comfort zone, to achieve goals despite the risks involved. It's a quality that enables people to face tough situations with firmness and resolve, whether it's everyday life, a personal challenge, or a moment of crisis. It's not the absence of fear, but rather the belief in building something sustainable for your future is more important than that fear. There are definitely things that you need to know, especially if you're thinking about leaving your day job for a career in photography. Do you have courage? Seriously, think about it. Are you brave enough to do this? Fully commit to being a pro photographer? This isn't a joke. It's not just about snapping photos, but it's about crafting a livelihood from a body of photography work that brings value. There's something new to learn every single day, including how to create meetings with people who want to see your work, who might even want to hire you. Even if self-doubt creeps in, do you have the strength to keep pushing through, to keep trying? So many talented shooters fall off. If you really want to make it as a working pro, you need courage, commitment, community. I've been doing this photography thing for over 33 years, and if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that making a living in this field boils down to having courage. It's tough. There's no doubt about how tough it is, but think about this. You could stick with your 9-to-5 job. You're then always waiting for that clock to hit 5 o'clock so you could do what you really love. Or you could plan your route into photography full-time and spend every day doing what brings you joy. But you gotta have guts to truly commit to the grind of being a pro photographer, to consistently create and share your work, to do that every single day, to connect with those that want to meet you, that wanna hire you, to genuinely step up and believe in your talent. This is a journey. There's definitely no sugarcoating it. If you're looking for an easy ride or quick money, might not be it. Careers that are lifelong or careers that are truly worth it rarely come easy. You could be stuck in your 9-to-5 job still and stay there, or you could be hustling hard for your photography business. What would you rather do? One path leads to genuine happiness, creating and working and bringing value to people every day. The other has you doing exactly what you're doing right now. Fully committing to photography means that you have all the time in the world to do what you should be doing, making photographs and building your business. You don't necessarily even need to believe in yourself, but you absolutely need the courage to start. Artists have to believe in possibilities that don't exist. Brad Rushing said that. This hits home for photographers. We're not just making photographs, we're creating a freelance business through executing the ideas and visions of our potential clients and our own ideas and visions. We have to stand on ideas not yet realized. I'm an introvert, I'm terribly shy, but my love for photography, it trumps my shyness. I care more about my success than I care about my shyness. We're in the business of unseen possibilities. We have to believe that there's people out there who will resonate with our vision, even if we haven't met them yet. Making money in a creative field, to some, that's a Jedi mind trick. Art holds value because it mystifies those that can't create it. People will pay top dollar for paint on canvas, not for what it does, because paint on canvas doesn't actually do anything, but for the emotion and the inspiration that it evokes. We can do applied photography. It's art and commerce. Photography today has an incredible range of applications. It drives products, it drives commerce, it brings humanity to businesses, big or small. Your photography business has the power to bring immense value. What really gives our photography its value? Our commitment to each idea and the commitment to the execution. The passion, the pain, the endless trials and errors. Our work has no value unless we value it. No pain or turmoil attached to your work, then you're not trying hard enough. And likely, you're not making the kind of work that anyone cares to look at. What devalues our photography the most? Our own comparison to others on social media. Comparison is the thief of joy. Anyone who's ever taken a great sunset photo and got a bunch of likes thinks that they're ready for the big leagues until they see what a pro photographer does. For a working pro, it's not a random one-off. It's about consistency, session after session, year after year. Underpricing your work, there's another way to destroy your photography. Undervaluing your work, it's a fast race to the bottom. We need to value our work, share it, and stand by it. People will talk when they see quality, passion, and commitment. Demand determines price, and price determines demand. Community. Creating a community is key. Use social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, not just for exposure, but for making genuine connections. If you see a potential client that you'd like to work with, find common ground. Follow them on their socials. Learn about them. Be human. It's okay to reach out and express your desire to work with somebody. It might not happen immediately, but making the effort to connect can lead to future opportunities. If you're dreaming about being a pro photographer, remember, it's all about the work that you put in. Quality work, quality clients. Don't let your ego get in the way of your progress as a photographer. You may think you're amazing, but it's part of your problem. Admitting that you know nothing is the beginning of understanding. The commitment, the courage, and the community you build, that's where it happens. Keep the faith in yourself and your craft. Even when times get tough, you know that you got this. And by the way, I'm always here to chat if you need some encouragement or advice.
Today we're diving into 3 powerful words that start with the letter D that are crucial to achieving photography success. These 3 vital ingredients can supercharge your journey to getting better at photography or even start earning money with your camera. If you have talent, you can do this. It just takes these 3 words: discipline, determination, and dedication. Let's start with discipline. Fitness fanatics are disciplined with exercising. Athletes are trained to focus and deliver on demand when it's game time. As a photographer, we also have to have the same discipline that athletes have when it comes to getting to the next level with our craft. Once we cross over to becoming a pro, the discipline that it requires to be a freelancer is actually insane. Being disciplined is like having a secret power that keeps you focused despite all of life's distractions. When you're pursuing your photography goals, you need discipline to get there. Discipline begins with understanding our weaknesses. Once you identify them, you can strengthen them, eliminate them, or find smart ways to work around them. So, how do you achieve Zen-like discipline? First, define what truly matters for your photography business. Does your photography portfolio need work? Is your website hurting? Do you need to learn artificial lighting? Prioritize tasks that directly contribute to your photography advancement. If you're crossing over into starting to finally make money with your camera, prioritize tasks that will actually lead to your financial success. Create daily routines, like setting aside time for your photography business every single day. Just like someone working 9 to 5, you have to be clocking in for work with your camera. The more that we shoot, the faster we improve. Once you've identified and prioritized the tasks that really matter, create daily routines to achieve them. Remember, taking care of yourself is crucial for discipline. Regular exercise, proper rest, which, by the way, I'm horrible at. I'm recording this video at 3:30 in the morning. And healthy eating not only help keep you sharp, but it boosts your earning potential. When you're building something, you have to take hours whenever you can. When you achieve something, by the way, no matter how small, celebrate it. Did you finally ask a stranger for portraits? Did you make a website, a Behance profile? Good on you. Recognize the small steps that are bringing you closer to your photography goals and celebrate them. Whenever I do a big session with my team, whenever we wrap, we celebrate. Determination is as important as discipline. Never giving up, especially when it comes to pursuing the spectacular with your camera. No photographer that quits has ever made it. Determined individuals don't get discouraged by failures. They use them as stepping stones to photography successes. Creative people have ingenuity. We are innovators. A failure in photography is always a learning experience. Or you could print it, throw it on the wall, and call it fine art. Determined people focus on what they can control, which is our own time and our own personal effort. It's like having a strategy that maximizes your photography potential. You absolutely can control how much effort you put into getting better at pictures. Are you determined to get better at photography? Being determined means making smart plans and taking actions that lead to photography success. We have to think like a famous artist and a master marketer. We have to be both a photographer and an entrepreneur with a clear path to profitability. Let's talk about dedication. It's the unwavering commitment to your photography business, and it's the third secret to photography success. Dedicated people never give up on their dream of making it. As a photographer, you need to keep pushing forward with the same passion as the first day that you picked up a camera. In fact, with more passion. You know way more today than you did back then. Dedicated photographers have an unyielding commitment to honing their photography skills. They're persistently pushing forward even when faced with challenges. Dedication is like having a clear path to photography mastery. Knowing that it's not going to happen today or maybe even tomorrow, but it is going to happen. Be dedicated to the journey of becoming a photographer. Dedication means pouring your heart and soul into the aspects that drive your business growth forward. Expanding your portfolio, your photography marketing. It's the relentless commitment to nurturing your business every single day. Let me explain how discipline, determination, and dedication work together in real life. I rarely talk about these three traits when it comes to my photography, but without being all three, there really isn't a path to success in this photography world. From overcoming challenges to learning from my mistakes, these three traits have helped me create a career with my camera. Discipline. Imagine you're a photographer who sets aside dedicated time each day to practice and learn new techniques. You prioritize your photography, you maintain maintain a consistent schedule for your shooting, and you diligently review your work for improvement. That's discipline. Determination. You're a photographer who faces rejection after rejection trying to get your work published or exhibited. Instead of giving up, you use each rejection as motivation. You refine your skills, you seek new opportunities, and because of your determination, of course you eventually secure that prestigious exhibition spot that you hoped for. That's determination. Dedication. You're a photographer who dreams of capturing a rare natural phenomenon. You travel to a remote location, you endure challenging weather conditions, and you spend countless hours waiting for the perfect shot. Finally, you capture that breathtaking image and it's being admired by photographers worldwide. That's dedication. There were thousands of examples of how discipline, determination, and dedication, when combined, propel photographers towards success in this competitive and rewarding market. In the end, remember that discipline, determination, and dedication are like the keys to getting better at photography, whatever level that you're at. And if you're trying to make money with your camera, this is the key to unlocking financial success with photography. Last but not least, be grateful for your eyes and your talent. Gratitude is like having a heart full of good vibes. It attracts positivity and makes your journey to photography success even more rewarding. Be thankful for every day that you get to make photographs. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right." You have to believe in your ability to do amazing things with your camera.
Imagine if every click of your camera wasn't just capturing a moment, but was crafting an experience so positive that it becomes etched in your client's memory. Now, consider this. What if your photography could trigger more than just smiles, but a rush of feel-good chemicals that leaves your clients not just satisfied, but downright ecstatic? That's not just powerful, that's game-changing. You can make photo sessions with you feel like this. In the competitive world of photography, it's not just the quality of your pictures that counts, it's the quality of the experience that you provide. Get that right, and you're not just a photographer, you're a memory maker, a dopamine dealer. And that's when your clients become more than just customers, they become your most passionate advocates. But here's the real shot. Success isn't just about what you're shooting, it's deeply intertwined with your attitude. It's about the mindset that you bring to each session, the energy, the positivity that you promote. And let's face it, the industry doesn't just hand out success, it rewards those who create it with the right attitude. The type of photography service you provide can make or break your success. Your clients have an amazing memory for two things, the things that go wrong and the things that go right. The reason for both is because of experience. Both a negative and a positive experience release endorphins that are triggered by feeling. We want those feelings and endorphins to be positive ones. Every time you make a client feel good, it releases dopamine. We can ensure that dopamine hit is attached to a positive experience with us just by making our clients feel good, feel understood, and feel satisfied. That's powerful. Make a session with you full of endorphin releases and dopamine hits, and your clients will quickly become your biggest evangelists. By the way, I didn't even say hi, Carty crew. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that's not just close to my heart, but it's integral to every photographer's journey, the double thank you moment. This is the pinnacle of any creative exchange, where gratitude is mutual and the passion is palpable. But what does it take to reach that moment? It's not just about shooting the pictures, it's about crafting memories and exceeding expectations, both yours and the client's. So, let's break it down, step by step, on how to build your career around capturing those moments. First of all, it's all about enthusiasm. Your fuel, your drive, your endless curiosity. Do you remember that feeling when you first picked up your camera? The weight of it in your hands, the click of the shutter? Hold on to that. Every project, every shoot, let that enthusiasm shine through. It's infectious, and your clients will feel it. When they see you excited, they get excited. And that's when you start capturing more than just images, you're capturing feelings. Now, let's talk about selective sharing. It's a game changer, folks. When you're on a shoot, share some of the process with your subject, but build their anticipation. Keep the best for the grand reveal. It's like giving a sneak peek of the masterpiece in progress while maintaining the mastery that culminates in an unforgettable reveal. It's not just about the photos, it's about the experience that you provide. And that starts with creating a story around the work. Next, let's talk a little bit about overshooting. This isn't about quantity over quality. It's about making sure that you have it all. Every angle, every light, every emotion. We're not just photographers, we're visual alchemists. We're seeking frames that scream the loudest. It's our job to sift through the multitude to find the gold, the photographs that will make your client's heart skip a beat. Working quickly, this is where the dance of photography really gets intricate. A fast photographer is a godsend to a client, but working quickly should never compromise the quality of the work. Find that rhythm, that pace that allows you to be thorough and efficient, yet delicately balanced. When you master it, you'll see that your clients relax, engage, and they trust in your process. All right. So you've nailed the shoot. But the double thank you moment is more than just delivering stellar photography. It's about building a rapport and ensuring that the value that you provide eclipses the price that they paid. It's a feeling of mutual respect and acknowledgement. From the client's perspective, it's receiving something priceless. They come to you with an idea, location, a product, and you've just handed them a treasure photograph for their idea. You've taken a three-dimensional scene and you've turned it into a marketing tool. The joy in their eyes, that's your cue. You hit the mark, the double thank you moment is complete. This symbiotic relationship, this dance of gratitude, it's what turns first-time clients into lifelong clients. It's about being much more than just a person behind the camera. You're a custodian of stories, a magnifier of their brand, a conduit of their voice. So, keep pushing, keep innovating, and remember, the double thank you moment is a philosophy. It's a standard to strive for in every photography-client relationship, and it's what transforms a picture into a portrait, a photograph into a story, a moment into a piece of time that lasts forever. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. This journey of photography, it's a beautiful one. It's about creating art, creating connections, and creating value that extends way beyond the frame. Embrace it, nurture it, and make every moment count, not just for you, but for everybody around you. When it comes to closing the deal, it's not just about having an impressive portfolio, it's about how you engage with your potential clients. So I put together 7 tried and true tips for sealing the deal and making every pre-shoot discussion a success. Number 1, a FaceTime meeting. In today's digital age, a personal connection is still king. A face-to-face meeting is key, but if you can't meet face-to-face, meet online via Zoom. Being seen and seeing your client allows you to build rapport and trust. Seeing each other's expressions and reactions creates a more personal connections than emails or phone calls. Use this time to understand your prospect's needs and express how you can meet them. Number 2, time changes. Flexibility is a sign of professionalism. So be willing to accommodate your potential client's schedule within reason. If they need to reschedule or they prefer a different time for the shoot or for your meeting, it shows that you can adapt, which speaks volumes about your work ethic and your customer service. But also, don't you be afraid to change a time. If a suggested time doesn't work for you, say so. A photographer that's infinitely available is not a photographer that's in demand. Don't be afraid to say, hey, the time doesn't work for me, I have a session that day, can we talk Thursday? It shows that when you're booked, you're singularly focused. You don't overbook yourself and you treat all your clients equally. Number 3, smile. Never underestimate the power of a smile. It's the universal sign of friendliness and openness. Smile during all of those interactions. It helps put your clients at ease and it sets a positive tone, which makes your clients more receptive to those ideas, whoever you are. Whatever your smile looks like, you actually have to use it. Check your teeth if you're in person. Make sure you have fresh breath and good hygiene. I actually can't believe I have to say that, but I've come across too many bad breath, close talking, rude, bad body odor photographers. You don't need to worry about them, but do know that people that you meet in person are assessing you from head to toe, and they have access to all their senses. You only get one chance to make a first impression. Make sure that you meet them all. Fresh breath and fresh smile. Number 4, ask the right questions. Asking questions not only helps you gather information, but it demonstrates your interest in your client's needs. Inquire about their vision, the purpose of the project, what their desires desired outcome is and any concerns that they might have. This will help you provide a more tailored service and shows the client that you're fully engaged. You could take it one step further and ask them if they've had good or bad experiences with photographer in the past. Learn what irks them about the shooters that they've used before and use this influence to change how you work. Number 5, give ideas. Clients often look for guidance even if they have a concept in mind. Offering creative ideas or suggestions for their project shows that you're engaged and invested in providing the best results. It also establishes your expertise and creativity, which reinforces why they should choose you in the first place. Sometimes your clients' ideas are going to be whack, but they still need photography. Please don't shoot their whack ideas, their whack poses, or their whack concepts, especially if they're not in the know. Do your best to steer them towards what's happening today and what's happening at the highest level by sharing references in your own work or the work of the photographers that you admire. The only way that your work is going to get better is by stopping shooting your subject's bad ideas. Start by having great ideas on your own, which starts from you looking at the right references and the right photographers. Regular people do not know what to do on camera, which means you have to. If you don't know how to direct your brand new subject, your session is going to be an exercise in futility. Look at magazines. Watch videos of photographers more experienced than you shooting and directing models. I have videos of me shooting and directing models right here on my channel. Number 6, enthusiasm. Passion is infectious. When you're discussing potential projects, let your enthusiasm for the photography shine through. Enthusiasm shows the client that you love what you do and that you'll bring this energy to their project. It can make the difference between a client who's on the fence and one who's absolutely ready to sign off. Your lack of enthusiasm is a sure sign that you're going to be a pill to deal with, painful to negotiate with, and not a fun time on any session. You don't need to be over-enthusiastic psycho, but you do need to be into it. Number 7, passion. Passion is more profound than enthusiasm. It's the driving force behind your work. I'm more passionate than most about making photographs, and passion is contagious. I often share stories about past projects, which shows why I love photography, and it lets my clients see the dedication behind my craft. When a client sees that you're passionate about not just photography, but their specific project, it builds confidence in your skills. My passion for photography inspires constantly learning and constantly improving even after 40 years of making photographs. Passion is a driving force, and passion for progress and success makes discipline that's pretty easy. Your 2 main goals should only be this: building a connection and delivering value. Closing the deal goes beyond just showcasing your portfolio. It's about building a connection with your client, understanding their needs, and sharing the value that you bring. With these 7 tips, you can enhance your approach, which will make a lasting impression on your potential clients and increase your success rate when it comes to closing deals.
I literally know next to nothing about life, but I do know this: accepting ourselves as people makes us better photographers. We all wear a mask. We have this image that we project out to the world, definitely on social media. People see us for exactly who we are. So it doesn't matter what masks we wear. People see right through them. So we have to ask ourselves, who are these masks that we wear? Who are they for? Are they for us? They must be, because the people who see us for who we are. It's exhausting projecting something outward into the universe that's not us, something that we have to maintain, something that we have to keep up, especially if everybody sees through it. Having this false projection be the version of us that people are accepting, that's the one out there that people are liking. How messed up is that? There's no one more complicated than us. Accept it. Embrace it. Embrace your shyness. Embrace your oddity. Accept yourself. We have to kill that ego side of us that so often gets in the way. I've always had social anxiety. I've always felt like the strange one. Why would anyone care about my photography, my oddities, me? But I also know that my oddities, my idiosyncrasies, my shyness is the reason that I notice photographs to begin with. It's that nuance, that oddity, that difference. That's where creativity lives. Why do the creative ones have to continually deal with so much internal turmoil? Why us?
It took a while for me to realize that all I actually wanted to do was to be of service to people. Being selfless and killing our ego, being of service to people, that's the future. My passion and love for photography and my goals with my camera supersede my shyness. My goals with helping emerging photographers get to the next level, whatever that level is, supersedes my shyness. It's why I'm on camera. I've had a channel for so long, and I've been mentoring photographers for so long in person, but my social anxiety and my on-camera anxiety is why I've never been on YouTube. I realized that accepting myself and killing the ego side of all things, and that was the reason that I was afraid to put myself out there, was ego. As soon as I accepted myself, I started making a lot more videos. If you're also a shy photographer, if you're also a shy person, dive into the work. Dive into creativity. There's no better antidote for shyness than embracing yourself in your creativity. Nothing is more rewarding than executing our ideas for ourselves or for our clients. In life, there are amazing ups and absolutely horrible downs, but with your camera, you can be of service to people. If you kill your ego, you can do it honestly without having to project anything else other than who you naturally are. When you dive into your creativity, you're leaving a legacy of your photography behind. You're being of service to people. You're documenting your life and your ideas, and they're permanent through photography. You're living and creating a life that inspires. When we accept ourselves and share ourselves and kill our ego and focus only on being of service to people, that's when we actually can live our lives. That's when we actually will find success with our photographs. There's no better attitude adjuster than creativity. Let's talk about how to be a working pro photographer. When I started my professional photography career at 20 years old, I had little more than a passion for making pictures and a determination to succeed. For over 3 decades, I've been a working pro. It's kind of mental when I think about it. I've been coaching photographers the entire time. After I dropped out of photography school, I got a studio. I started working. In my 3rd year of business, I was invited back to the university that I dropped out of to lecture to the next generation of pros. I've always helped my assistants transition to working pros. It usually takes about 2 years. Over the lockdown, when work kind of really slowed down, I started building out this YouTube channel by helping new photographers with my content and my photo reviews. Last year, my channel really started getting traction, and I was asked if I did online coaching. So I took on a few and I helped them build up their businesses. I strongly believe in coaching. I actually have 3 coaches myself. I have a business coach, a creative coach, and a marketing coach. This past winter, during one of our retreats, I shared this brilliant idea I had about building out my coaching program. My marketing coach had one very valid question. How? How do you help photographers make a living with their camera? How do you actually do it? He kind of stumped me on that one, I can't lie. I'd never really mapped out how I help emerging and struggling photographers. I just did. It just worked. That weekend really forced me to go back to the drawing board and map out the way that I develop photographers for the first time. I've refined my coaching approach and developed now what I call the Carty method. It's a structured system for helping emerging and struggling photographers transition into high-demand working pros. If that sounds like you, sounds like something you're interested in, let's get into how we can turn your love for photography into a thriving career, following these 6 phases of the Carty method. Phase 1, your work and a market for that work. When I began, I focused on honing my skills and finding my unique style in photography. I knew I wanted to be a fashion shooter, so it's crucial to identify what kind of work you love to make, but more importantly, who might need that work. Explore all kinds of niches, portraits, weddings, commercial, product photography, and understand where there's a demand within your market. This phase is about mastering your craft and recognizing the value that your style and expertise could bring. Phase 2, the packaging. Back in the early days, I didn't have the luxury of digital portfolios or social media. I'm old. When I started, there was no internet. But today, there's powerful tools at your disposal. Your portfolio, your website, your social media presence, and your personal branding are all part of your packaging. You're the most important part of this package. All of this together tells your story and showcases your work to potential clients. So make sure your portfolio highlights your best work, that your website's professional and user-friendly, and your social media reflects your brand's voice and your vision. Don't forget to care enough about yourself to be presentable to potential clients. That includes maybe shopping more than once every 5 years. If your website's great and your work's great, but you don't look the part, you're not going to get work. Phase 3. Creating a value-based photography business. One of the most critical lessons I've learned in my career was to understand the value of my work. This phase involves creating a business model that reflects the worth of your services. You really do need to understand industry standards when it comes to pricing. You don't charge by the hour, always charge by the project, and it's important to establish your pricing strategy. And if you're stuck, by the way, download my free pricing guide in the video description. Clearly define your services and ensure that you're delivering value that meets or exceeds your clients' expectations. It's not just about the pictures you make, but about the experience you provide and the problems that you solve for your potential clients. And by the way, set up your business so you're running it like a business. Create a corporation or an LLC and get an accountant so you're not leaving money on the table or paying extra taxes because you're a sole proprietor. Phase 4. Developing systems for everything. As my business grew, I realized the importance of having systems in place for every aspect of my work. There's a reason that McD's and Starbucks and Apple are such massive companies. Systems. You get the same vanilla half-calf latte in Switzerland that you do in Toronto, and the same Big Mac in Salt Lake City that you do in Manchester. From client acquisition and communication to project management and financial tracking, developing efficient systems can save you time and reduce stress. Use tools and software to streamline your workflow, automate repetitive tasks, and keep your business organized and professional. I've built amazing systems and digital tools to help keep me organized and help me make more money, and I just put them out there for you to use. Phase 5. Outward reach. This is where we hunt for clients. Speaking of putting yourself out there, by the way, my entire career, I've had social anxiety, and putting myself out there has always made me spiral into nobody cares, I'll never work again, my work is shit. It's always stopped me from doing outward reach. Putting myself out there and finding clients was always one of my biggest challenges. I had to conquer that fear, and it came from taking a couple of workshops and doing a lot of soul searching. Now I know clearly how to do it, and I've proved it to myself and others. With the right strategies, outward reach can become one of your strengths. It's a numbers game. So many super successful CEOs send hundreds of emails and DMs per day. Hundreds. Are you sending hundreds? I wasn't either. Networking, attending industry events, leveraging social media, and using the online platforms that we have can help us reach potential clients. Research potential clients and contacts hundreds of them. They need to know us. They don't know us yet. They won't find our website. You need to be proactive in your outward reach. Don't wait for clients to come to you. Show them why they need your unique, niched, specialized skills and service. Phase 6, integrating all these elements together. The final phase is about bringing these elements together into a cohesive, functioning business. Your skills, your market knowledge, branding, value prop, systems, client outreach, all of this should work together in harmony. Continuously evaluate and adjust your strategies to make sure that they remain effective and aligned with your goals. Today, I'm going to give you 7 ways that you can create more time to shoot. Now, I'm definitely not here to tell you what to do with your time.
I'm not gonna take up too much of your time.
But I am here to help you with effective time management strategies.
Time management, that's the key.
By setting clear priorities and maximizing your limited free time, you can successfully nurture your growing photography business while maintaining your other life responsibilities. First up, You have to set clear goals and priorities. Start by defining your short and your long-term goals for your photography business, identify what you want to achieve, and outline the steps that'll help you get there. By setting clear priorities, you'll be able to focus your time and your energy on the most important tasks, and those important tasks lead to your progress and your growth as a photographer. How about in 3 months, I want to have 20 photo shoots done? Or this summer, I'm going to go to 3 new places and create amazing portfolio level images.
What's your schedule like? I need your help.
Create a schedule. Establishing a structured schedule is crucial for time management. Evaluate your daily routine and identify free time that could be dedicated to your photography. Consider waking up early.
I used to wake up early when I was a child, work on some project.
Or dedicating a certain evening or weekends to your craft. Creating a schedule helps you allocate time for photography and ensures that you have a balance between work, your personal life, and time to shoot. I use iCal on my Mac to manage 5 calendars. My photography work, my podcast schedule, my outward reach, my cycling and fitness, my family life, everything is scheduled. Everything goes into my calendar or it doesn't happen.
We need a plan.
Plan and prepare.
Let's play dead.
To optimize your photography time, plan and prepare in advance. From scouting locations to researching potential clients, even organizing your photography equipment. By having a plan in place, you can make the most out of your shooting sessions and reduce time wasted on unnecessary tasks like finding that cord, that cable, that adapter.
Come on, stop it. James, this is unnecessary.
I'm pretty intense when it comes to writing down my photo ideas and going out to see new locations. I use my phone to photograph the cool spots that I see, and they get geotagged and they're visible in the Places section of my Photos app. Then I put them into a potential locations folder so I can go back to that folder anytime that I'm stuck for a cool place to shoot. Make use of technology. In today's digital age, tech can be our greatest ally when it comes to managing our photography businesses efficiently. Utilize apps and desktop tools to streamline your workflow. Schedule your social media posts in advance and automate everything that you can. By leveraging technology, you can save time so you can focus on the creative aspects of your photography. One program that I can't live without is Notion. This program organizes my personal life and my business life, and I'm just skimming the surface of what it can do. I've created YouTube templates, podcast templates. I use Notion for ideas, for habit tracking. I've made call sheet templates and so much more. Delegate and outsource. Recognize that you can't do it all yourself. Delegate non-essential tasks or outsource them to other people. You can hire a virtual assistant to handle your administrative work, a retoucher to do your post-processing, or a social media manager to handle helping you blow up on Instagram. Delegating responsibilities will free up valuable time so you can concentrate on your core photography work. Of course, yes, these things cost money, unless you teach your friend or your partner or the love of your life how to help you and how to help you blow up your photography business. If you do this, they don't need to know a single thing about making photographs. Know someone that's amazing at social? Get them on your team. Offer exchanges. Do photography for them in exchange for social media management. Leverage your network. Find the talent that you need and offer to exchange services.
Yes, sir. And it was a regular cottage industry.
Embrace the power of saying no. Learning how to say no to non-essential commitments is crucial for managing your time effectively. Of course, it's important to socialize and engage in activities that go beyond work and photography. Be mindful of the impact that it'll have on your schedule. Prioritize tasks and commitments that align with your goals and politely decline those that don't contribute to your growth as a photographer. No is a powerful word. You should have no issue saying no to a project that's not fair to you or one that doesn't fit with your goals that you're trying to do with your camera. Saying yes to shooting products when you're a portrait shooter with no experience shooting products is doing a disservice to the client that's asking. Say no. Explain your specialty and recommend someone that you respect to take care of their product photography needs. Saying yes in this scenario is going to make you the fool.
Yes, 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 yes.
You're taking work from someone that could do it better, and you're not adding anything that you can actually use in your portfolio. Someone wanting you to shoot a lot for a little?
That's not gonna work for me, okay?
Offer to shoot less for their low rate, or just say no.
I implored every single one of you to just say no.
Continuously learning and improving. Self-improvement and skill development is crucial for any photographer.
For men, self-improvement ends at toilet training.
But it's essential to manage your learning time effectively. Dedicate time slots for leveling up on educational resources like courses or photo books, or even photography workshops. Be selective and focus on areas that'll directly benefit you and your photography business.
Even you couldn't say no to that.
You, by the way, are all over this already by getting this far in the video, by reading my blog posts. You read my blog posts, right? Everything that I create on YouTube and on my blog is to enable emerging photographers like you.
Oh, self-improvement month.
Finding time for photography while juggling a full-time job requires determination, dedication, and discipline.
The American people, in the throes of the Depression as they were, found in him a symbol of possibility, of self-improvement and self-fulfillment.
And effective time management. By clearly making your photography a priority, by scheduling everything, by using available technology, and delegating out when necessary, you can strike a balance in your life and you can nurture your growing photography business. Success in managing your time ultimately boils down to your commitment, your focus, and your dedication to this craft.
But first, you must demonstrate your commitment to justice.
Do you want to stay in your 9-to-5 non-photography related grind, or do you want to make the steps to transition to being a pro? I can help a lot, but I can't make you go out and take photos. I can't do the immense amount of work for you that it takes to be a successful pro.
Now, I can't do it for you.
I take on 10 shooters for my mentorship program. Right now I have 8, which means I got 2 spots left. Embrace these time management tips and leave me a comment letting me know which ones that you found the most helpful. This stuff isn't easy, by the way. If it was, everybody would be a working pro photographer. For those that are committed to changing the reality, the rewards are amazing. You absolutely can do this if you got the talent. Before I shifted, I had the mindset of the broke photographer.
Which reminds me, your account needs more money.
If you're stuck with not enough money in your account, or you're struggling to break through, maybe you have this mindset as well. My last video generated a lot of attention. Over 100,000 views and a lot of comments. Over 500 of them actually, and I read and replied to every single one of them. One thing that a few of my viewers disagreed with was the concept of specializing. So, in today's video, let's dive deep into the benefits of specializing in the world of photography. By the way, specializing isn't about narrowing down your focus, it's about honing in on a particular niche and becoming a true expert in that area. Here are some key advantages that come with specializing. Specializing allows you to focus your energy on perfecting the techniques specific to your chosen niche. Whether it's mastering the art of dramatic lighting for portraits, capturing the intricate details of macro photography, or nailing your composition for your landscape shots, specializing enables you to refine your skills to a level of expertise that's just not achievable with the generalized broad approach. Focusing on one area of photography, like people, places, or things, enables you to get better at the nuances of your skill set. My specialty since I started making money at photography has always been photographing people. I started this photography game wanting to be a fashion photographer, and a fashion photographer I became. Shooting fashion was my main focus until I got that piece of advice from Michael Gregg that you heard in my last video. Anyone can make pictures of beautiful people. It takes a real photographer to shoot the rest of us. I'd been making portraits of my friends as my personal work. And that practice quickly became my main work when I started working editorially for the Globe and Mail newspaper. I added portraits to my skill set of what I could do, and I started showing them in my portfolio, specifically my editorial portraits for magazines. Shooting in an editorial style also opened up advertising work. Again, people-related advertising work. What I realized was I was fast. I connected with my subjects quickly, and I was creating a level of work that usually took much longer to achieve. Shooting editorially helped me master shooting for print, and it helped me shoot in a way that made my images work with text. This is still the type of work that I do today, and photographing people is still my specialty. When you specialize, you're not just taking photos, you're making photos, and you're crafting a distinct visual language. This focused approach gives you the opportunity to develop a unique style that becomes your visual signature. As you immerse yourself in your chosen niche, you'll find new ways to approach your subject matter, you'll experiment with different angles, and you'll get to play with creative elements that truly set your work apart. Focusing on one niche or genre makes you better in less time than trying to get good at shooting everything. By focusing on shooting people exclusively, I got good at photographing people fast. Understanding light, time of day, skin tone, exposure, expression, and too many more nuanced things to mention in this video. Specializing in photographing people helped me relate to people, understand people, communicate with people, and most importantly, be creative with people. Your portfolio is your calling card in the photography industry. Specializing empowers you to build a portfolio that tells a cohesive story. Every image contributes to a narrative that showcases your mastery of your chosen genre. This narrative, in turn, it attracts clients who are specifically seeking your expertise, which increases your chances of landing projects that really align with your passion. By focusing on one thing, your portfolio doesn't become boring. It becomes either not what an art director is looking for or exactly what an art director is looking for. Clients are looking for the best photographer that specializes in exactly what they're trying to achieve. Product photography, lifestyle photography, editorial photography, car photography. When you specialize in a specific niche, you're essentially becoming an expert in that field. That expertise sets you apart from generalists, and it makes your work more appealing to a targeted audience. Think about it. If you're someone looking for a photographer to capture your wedding, and you find one that specializes exclusively in weddings, you're much more likely to choose them over someone who does a little bit of everything. Specializing helps you tailor your marketing efforts. You can create a brand identity that's perfectly aligned with your niche, from your website all the way to your social media presence. If you're a lifestyle photographer, you could also be looking for the best advertising agencies in your area that specialize in a lifestyle feeling to their ads, or clothing brands that use lifestyle images to market their apparel. Or you could be reaching out to tech companies that use lifestyle to sell their technology. This focused approach, it makes your message clear and it resonates with the right people. Specializing enhances your visibility. When potential clients search for a specific type of photography, your name is more likely to pop up if you're a specialist. This increases your chances of being considered for projects that match your expertise. In essence, specializing streamlines your marketing efforts, and it allows you to effectively communicate your unique value to a targeted audience. This leads to more opportunities and a greater success in your chosen niche. Specializing allows you to deeply understand your target audience. You become attuned to their preferences, their needs, their expectations. Sometimes you're going to know what they need before they do. This knowledge enables you to create images and an experience working with you that resonates on a personal level, making your work more valuable and more relatable and more impactful. When clients see that you specialize in exactly what they're looking for, they're more likely to trust your capabilities and your vision. When you suggest things that you can create as well that they might need, like video, you can create an ongoing relationship while fulfilling more needs than just their photography. In a competitive industry, standing out is crucial. Specializing is your ticket to setting yourself apart from the pack. It positions you as an authority in your niche, which makes it easier for potential clients to recognize and remember you. When someone's looking for a specific type of photography, your name should be the one that comes up because of your specialty and your expertise. Remember, specialties are searchable. No one ever just searches photographer. They search editorial, portrait, photographer, Toronto. When they see your portfolio, it should be examples of the best work within your niche, and it should be your work in action. If you've shot stuff that's been published on the web, on blog, or in magazines, include those tear sheets. Specializing not only enhances your skills, but it also increases your perceived value. Clients are willing to pay more for a photographer who's an expert in their desired niche. Your knowledge, experience, your ability to consistently deliver exceptional results sets you apart from generalists, and it allows you to command premium rates that reflect the quality and the exclusivity of your work. Specializing often requires specialty equipment. Specialty equipment makes your work unique, and often this equipment isn't owned by every photographer. Specialty equipment like lenses or lighting makes your work look polished and expensive, and it's a worthwhile expense to bill back to your clients. My clients pay for studio fees whenever necessary, my digital kit, which includes my laptop, my camera, my lenses, and my lighting kit if necessary. I own all my gear, but I rent it to myself for every large production, and my clients pay those fees. Specializing opens doors to networking opportunities within your chosen niche. You'll find yourself interacting with fellow specialists, industry professionals, and potential clients who share your singular passion. This networking leads to collaborations, work opportunities, and even exposure to projects that perfectly align with your specialty. If you photograph cars, go to car shows. If you shoot fashion, go to fashion shows. If fashion photography is your specialty, it makes you attractive to fashion brands, labels, and advertising agencies that have fashion brands as clients. It also attracts smaller labels that can't afford ad agencies, but they're willing to go to you directly for your expertise within the fashion space. If you see a networking event, go to it. Be ready with business cards or tappy and start practicing how to talk about your niche in the photography world. Being a car photographer or an advertising photographer or a drone photographer or a fashion photographer is way more interesting than just a photographer. Of course, you'll get the question, what do you shoot? Your answer just can't be things that I see, because doesn't everybody with an iPhone do that? Finding your photography niche and learning as much as you can about it until you become an actual expert in it is deeply satisfying. When you specialize, you get to do what you love with photography every single day. This level of fulfillment not only reflects in your work, but it keeps your enthusiasm and your creativity alive over the long term. The joy you'll experience while working within your specialty will radiate through your photographs. I love people, so being able to engage with new subjects and photograph new faces every session is very fulfilling, and it's kept me going for over 30 years. I love relating to my subject. I wouldn't be as happy as if I was a product photographer, but that's just me. A product photographer might say, hey buddy, my subjects are always on time, they don't talk back, and they're willing to stay as long as I need them. And by the way, I can shoot products at 3 a.m. Sometimes we choose our specialty and sometimes it chooses us. Specializing can contribute to the longevity of your career. As trends come and go, the expertise that you've built within your niche remains valuable. Clients who are passionate about that specific type of photography will always be seeking your services, providing you with a steady stream of work even in changing market conditions. There'll always be a need for product photography, headshots, editorial portraits, lifestyle photography, people-based advertising, and non-people-based advertising, and so much other photography work. Despite the rise of AI, it'll never replace human creativity. By the way, if you're a skeptic, feel free to disagree in the comments. Specializing isn't about limiting yourself. It's about unlocking your full potential within a focused area of photography. Imagine, if you shot just one thing for the rest of the year, don't you think you'd be better at it than if you shot whatever you wanted for the rest of the year? Specializing is a journey of growth, creativity, and expertise. Specializing empowers you to create images that leave a lasting impact on both your subjects and your clients, and the industry as a whole. Specialists are searchable, categorizable, and they make more money. To truly succeed in this photography world, you need to make your work desirable and exclusive. Emphasize the high-end quality of your photography. It makes it something that not just everyone can have. By doing so, you're increasing the value of your photography and you're creating a sense of rarity. Remember, the experience of working with you should also be invaluable to your clients and subjects. Be fun and be brilliant. 3 magic words. And these 3 magic words will maximize your income and help you earn more money for every single project that you shoot. Getting into price discussions with your clients can be daunting. As a pro, you want to make sure that you're compensated fairly for your work while also providing value for your client. One of the best ways to approach this is by understanding the full scope and the value of the project before you dive into the budget conversation. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get the most amount possible for every single photography project you're negotiating, and you can do it in 3 simple steps. Step number 1, complete project understanding. Before you can even approach the topic of budget, ensure that you have a full understanding of the client's project, which means asking detailed questions. What's the project for? Understanding the purpose behind the project gives you the insight into its value and the importance to the client. Where is it going to be used? Knowing the platforms or the media where the project's going to be featured helps you gauge the exposure and impact, therefore influencing its value. Print media is advertising, so you can charge usage fees. Social media, online images, they don't pay as much as images that are used for print. And lastly, how long will it be used for? Duration of use is critical in understanding the lifespan and the ongoing value this project will have for the client. Longer use means higher value to the client. By asking these questions, you not only show your professionalism and thoroughness, but it also gives you a clearer picture of what the client truly needs and the value that you can bring. Step number 2, introducing the 3 magic words. What's your budget? Once you've established a comprehensive understanding of the project, you can transition into discussing budget. At this point, you have all the knowledge to assess if the client's budget aligns with the value that you provide. Of course, during this conversation, you've been taking notes and telling yourself how much this project is actually worth to you. This is exactly when you ask, what's your budget? Asking what's your budget after gathering all the necessary information allows you to align expectations. You can immediately identify if the client's budget is in the ballpark of what you'd typically charge for such a project. This is the great part. Most of the time, your client's budget will be higher than the ballpark of what you'd typically charge, which means you can customize a solution. Now that you understand the budget and the project needs, you can tailor your offerings to provide maximum value within the client's financial constraints. If your client's budget is now higher than expected, you now have the ability to create the type of experience for them that will have them coming back. Rent a nicer studio, hire a more experienced assistant. I customized solutions for every single client that I shoot for. What you're doing is establishing professionalism. By asking detailed questions throughout the whole process, you position yourself as a thorough and a thoughtful professional, setting the stage for respectful and productive budget negotiations. Step number 3, emphasizing value over price. Having a clear understanding of the project and the client's budget allows you to emphasize the value that you bring to the table. Instead of focusing on justifying your prices, you can now discuss how your services will meet your client's specific needs and how your unique skill and experience will contribute to the project's success. Remember, value is subjective. Your understanding of the project's scope and your client's needs allows you to highlight the specific value that you have to offer, which might in fact justify a higher price than the client initially expected. Also, negotiation is a two-way street. Be open to discussing how the project can be adjusted to fit budget without compromising your standards or undervaluing your work. You can also offer to give less for smaller budgets. Ask yourself this: will this project lead to more projects? Will this project be great for my portfolio? If so, these types of projects are worth doing for less than expected and could lead to repeat business. Smart ones negotiate that into their pricing. I'll do this for you at this price if I know that I'm the only photographer you'll use. Or I'll do this for you this season at this price if you hire me next season as well. Informed budget talks always lead to better outcomes. By taking the time to understand the project fully before discussing budget, you set yourself up for effective price negotiations. Asking what's your budget at the right time allows you to align your services with the client's financial expectations and ensures that both parties are satisfied with the agreement. Remember, always focus on the value that you bring and maintain open, respectful communication throughout the process. Your professionalism and your thoroughness will not only help you get paid well, but will build lasting relationships with your clients. Today, we're going to go over 7 key things that I believe every emerging pro needs to go through in order to start making money with their camera. Number 1, you have to assess yourself. Do you have the time? Do you have the energy? Do you have the talent to be a professional photographer? Now, it's easy to see if you have talent. First of all, every time you've ever taken a picture, all your friends, all your family, all your relatives look at you and say, oh my God, you should be a photographer. If that's something that's happened to you before, okay, that's good. Now, next, do you value photography? Do you believe that there is a future in professional photography? Is that answer yes? Do you see photography everywhere and say to yourself, I wish it was me that was making these pictures. I wish I was a professional photographer. Yes, you're the right type of mindset to be a professional. And if you have the talent, let's get on to number 2. Number 2 is specialize. Are you trying to show the world that you can do too many things? I have to tell you, the jack of all trades, master of none philosophy to professional photography is not a fast route to being successful. Specialize. Be the car photographer, the portrait photographer, the family photographer, the wedding photographer, the commercial, the editorial, the fashion photographer. If you're in a smaller market, you might not be able to shoot just one thing and make a living. If that's the case, what you need to get good at is categorizing the type of work that you do. So people, if they want portraits, they're not looking at wedding photography mixed in with portraits, mixed in with babies, mixed in with cars, mixed in with landscapes. If you're in a smaller market, look at everyone that's calling themselves a photographer in your town. Are they as good? Are they better? Or are they specializing in an area that's different than the area that you want to specialize in? If that's the case, there's enough room for the both of you. Just do something different, better. Number 3, assemble. When the work is there and the specialty is there, when the quality is there, it's time to assemble the work. Create categories for the work that you specialize in. Even if you provide general photography service in the small market that you're in, you have to provide examples of every one of those types of photography that you say that you can do. And also, those examples should be spectacular. Spectacular is the exception to every rule. You can make it in any market if you're exceptional. Care only about the great. Care only about the spectacular. If you're not sure what of your images are good, great, or spectacular, get some help. Get a consultant. Ask some friends. Ask somebody who has no idea about photography to just pick what photographs they think are the best. Most people can recognize spectacular. I can help you recognize spectacular. Assembling your work is the fastest way to see where you're at with your photography. The fastest way to see where you have amazing and where you need help. Now that you have this amazing body of work of spectacular images, it's time to present. Your website is the first place that people will look and discover your photography. Social media like Behance, Instagram, Twitter is where people can find your work, of course, but your goal with your social media presence is to try to take those people from your social media and get them to your website where you can have a call to action and actually get them hiring you. Your photography website is a full expression of you. You can control everything from navigation, design sense, how much or how little people see, and it's just you. When people are on your website, they're thinking about you only, so consider your website as a higher level of importance than your social media. If you have a good design sense, you should literally be able to put a website together in an afternoon. If you don't, I'm sure you have friends who can help. I'm sure you can go on Fiverr and find somebody who can help you. You should be hungry to share. You should be excited to put together this website because many photographers get stuck on this point, which is assembling the work, presenting the work. These are the points where if you haven't got past this and you're just dealing with social media and using social media only as the way that you're trying to get photography work, this is likely why it's not happening. You haven't gone through the assembly stage, and you really haven't gone through the design sensibility and the energy it takes to create a website. I do 3 photo shows a week. I'm always showing the absolute best photography websites that I find, and I'm using them for inspiration for my own site and for my viewers. I'm using them for you to show you how simple, slick, and amazing your website could be. Adobe Portfolio integrates with Lightroom, it integrates with Behance. This kind of integration makes it easier for you to update, which means you update more often, and then that work directly goes into the right social media funnel. You get to have your work in front of the most creative people in the world that are actually making a living with their creativity and actually looking to hire photographers just like you. If you have a look at Behance, you'll see this is an Instagram. So it's why I'm continually pushing Behance, why I'm continually advising emerging photographers to have their work there. It's how you'll get discovered. It's how you'll go viral. Special bonus for making it this far. A physical print portfolio, if you can. Printing your photography, freeing your photographs off of a computer is genius, especially if you're trying to get work within the advertising space, within the print space, within the magazine space, where what your work looks like printed is kind of crucial. If that's the case, you need to consider making a print portfolio to be able to show people. This print portfolio shows what your work looks like in print and shows that you really understand tone, fabrics, skin, retouching. It shows what your work really looks like. If most of the work that you're going after is online e-commerce companies, if that's the case, show your best work and put it on an iPad Pro and allow the clients to have a look at it, navigate, and pass it around. That's a great way, and actually I think that's the best way to show your portfolio if you're dealing with web-based companies. Number 5, your social presence. I have to tell you, as a creator and someone who's been doing this for as long as there's been social media and longer, when we're a solopreneur, we have to do this on our own. So we have to do research to see what social media platforms are working best for the type of photography that we do. But also, don't be so hard on yourself, and know that most of us can maintain our website plus 2 social media sites. So if you're trying to maintain 6 of them or 4 of them, maybe look at the analytics, see where the traffic's coming from, and consider putting more effort into less social media platforms. That's my advice for you. Number 6, promotional material. Print isn't dead if you use it correctly. I use a company called Moo, and Moo makes my business cards, my postcards. The thing that's amazing is you're able to have a different image on the front with your same contact information on the back. You're able to do a job that's headshots, or do a job that's corporate, or do a job that's a car shoot, and you have a business card with every one of those representations on there. It's basically like your portfolio in a box. Secret time, if you give that box to the client and let that client look through all of them and choose the one that they want, your client will keep the business card. They're picking their favorite photograph of yours, and it has the contact information on the back. Those potential clients keep that card on a mood board. Mood board? They keep it in their file, and when they're looking through the card, like everybody else's card, I guarantee you that Moo card stands out. I also have this thing called Tappy. Tappy is this little dot that I have on the back of my phone. All I need to do is just tap my phone to another phone, and it beams my contact information to them, my contact card, so they can save me into their phone. Of course, my website, of course, my social media, so they can just open my social media, follow. Between Moo And Tappy, it's a genius way to share your contact information when you're in person. The printed postcard and a handwritten note to somebody that you're trying to get next to. Imagine you get a personal note from someone. Hey Steve, it was really nice meeting you the other day. I'd really love to grab a coffee. If you get a note like that and then turn it over and it's an incredibly memorable, exceptional photograph, people hire people that they feel like they know. Anytime that we have opportunities to create conversations with strangers, we have to do that. And when it comes to self-promotion, a personal note to somebody, a business card that starts a conversation, and or technology that makes people say, oh my God, that's so cool. How'd you do that? You may never have success with email reach outs to potential clients, but you might. Email communication is relatively dry, so if you can bring a little bit of humor, if you can bring a little bit of light, if you can bring a little bit of a smile to your potential next client, it's gonna help. 3 to 5 spectacular images and 3 lines, preferably funny. I'm editing, by the way, so much stuff out of this video because I can't make this video 2 hours, which it should be, but attention span like TikTok means that I have to deliver you the goods in a acceptable time frame, but with takeaways every 35 seconds. So I'm doing my best. Lastly, don't be embarrassed about talking about your photography. It's not self-promotion, it's called marketing. And if someone's interested in photography, if they show interest, people don't show interest in your photography, then stop talking about it. Do it in a way that doesn't sound egotistical or like you're boasting. Be proud, be passionate about your photography, and it'll rub off. Be very ready if you're going to be receiving phone calls, how much you charge for this, this, and this, or how you can do a quote really quickly. Have some stuff rehearsed. I gotta tell you, it's going to be definitely helpful. Do you know about the mindset of the broke photographer? No one knows the story more than me. I've lived it like an idiot for about a third of my life. It goes like this. People are okay with being broke until something catastrophic happens. The sad thing is, if you're living in a broke mindset, it's much more likely for that catastrophic event to actually happen to you. Your car blows up because it's old and unmaintained, or someone breaks into your house and steals your gear, or into your car because you live in a bad neighborhood. Your parents get sick and you can't help them because you're not making real money. Seems then you'd have the motivation to make money because something catastrophic has happened. The reason that this scenario is even a possibility is because you didn't prepare. And I've been there. I was not prepared. I didn't have the foresight or the vision for a possible catastrophic event. I couldn't break out of the narrow mind that I had adopted about the photography business because of the narrow routine that I was stuck in. A traumatic event happens because of our current situation, and even then, we normalize. Someone breaks into your car and you're pissed, but soon stress comes down and it becomes normal. And even worse still, you're comfortable with it. I don't have to do anything. I'm fine. I'm safe. My survival isn't at stake. And you just wait for another event to happen. Successful people use these traumatic events to change the foundations of who they actually are. Who they are determines their standards and their values. And their standards and values determine the small choices that they make. If you're okay with having $5 in your bank account, you won't see that $5 as a problem. If your standards have raised and you're only okay with having $100K in your bank account, then you'll see anything less as a big problem that needs to be fixed. Problems frame your perception. When your mind is open, it has the standards that allow you to create smart problems that require creativity to solve. Then you start to begin noticing more money-making opportunities in every situation. If you have $5 in your account and you don't see that as a problem, you're not going to notice any opportunities that help you fix your finances because it's not on your mind. It's not on your radar. It's not framing your perception of yourself. When you set your standards to not okay with anything less than $100K in your account, then even if you have $50K in your account, your actual survival's at stake. You're going to see that $50K as a huge problem. And it's gonna bring a youthful stress to your life. That good kind of stress. You're gonna get off your ass and think of a way to wisely double your money. This part might sound flaky, but the universe starts to conspire in your favor. It's the logical outcome of having a problem on your mind that you need to solve creatively. You start absorbing information without even being aware of it. Your Google searches start to change. How to make an extra $1,000 a month. And of course, you find me in this channel. Trying to become a better person is how you live with purpose. You start having conversations about money with your friends. All of these small choices begin to compound into results. Your brain naturally rewires your thinking patterns based on your new goals and your new intentions. And you find yourself searching for specific information relating to these new problems that you're facing. The information that we consume highly influences our identity and therefore our standards. If you're in a social media space, or if you're reading books, or you're immersed, you're conditioning programming. You're training your mind. Like I talk about in my video about the 3 traits that every successful photographer has, you're slowly allowing these higher standards to form over time. If you surround yourself with a group of successful photographers who are all on their road to stardom, no matter what you think of them, you realize you kind of got to keep up with them. You got to use them. Ask all the questions that you need to in order to make your photo business successful. There's goods and bads about comparison. If you adopt what successful shooters are doing as a standard, the likelihood of you actually reaching that point is 1,000 times higher than someone who doesn't have those high standards in their mind. If you don't change the habits of who you surround yourself with, you're not learning anything new that could propel your life forward. If you surround yourself with people, whether it's physical or digital, that makes it seem like it's okay to be 100 pounds overweight, or have no money, or work at a job that they hate, or stay with a partner that they hate, or get drunk every night, how do you think that your life will end up? This is how our standards intertwine with our identity. If you're interested in making money with photography or changing your life, then you're also interested in adopting the identity of a person that's going to help you reach that ideal future. If your standards require you to work like a CEO, you'll see the low-level grunt work as a problem that needs to be outsourced or automated or taken over by software. I'm just now learning the power of outsourcing, which is why AI and automation is coming in and taking away low-level jobs. It's because the people with those jobs don't have the high standards that allow them to bridge their understanding and actions to a higher identity. AI can't come in and take away the complex creative skill set, the business mindset that you're creating for yourself. It can't take away your creative photography business. You obviously can't solve all the problems in your life immediately. You can't escape your situation right now, right this second. But you need a plan. You need an aim. By sticking to a plan, I promise you that the journey along that plan will be more enjoyable than the outcome. A good way to adopt a higher standard is to adopt the standards of the person or the creative that you want to become, the ideal version of yourself. Most people take the bare minimum approach to life. Quick money, quick sex, no commitment, no depth, no failure. As a new photographer in business, there is no quick. There has to be a vision of long money, of ongoing success, a full commitment, a depth of purpose sprinkled in with lots of failure. You need to learn all aspects of your current and your future photography business. Learn what you're good at. Learn what you need to do to succeed, but you don't yet have the skills to master. Maybe it's post-production. Maybe it's brand design. In order to do everything at the highest level, it's smart money to get help. The easier you try to make your life, the harder it's going to be. The way out of mindless living is to adopt the standards of who you want to become. How much money do you want to make? What kind of work will bring you fulfillment? What's your ideal relationship for friends or a partner? How do you want to look and feel? We must go beyond the bare minimum of survival in order to set ourselves up for success. Commit to having a reason behind your actions. If you don't know why you're doing something, why are you doing it? And if you know why you need to do something, why are you ignoring it? Why haven't you begun pursuing a more purposeful career by starting your photography business? Most don't see the small choices that they make daily is actually how you reach your ideal outcome. As I said earlier, some have closed their minds off to me already, and that's the choice that they've decided to make. But you only get one shot at this thing called life. I know it's a cliche, but those people who've tuned out, they've already stopped watching this video already. The only person that can stop you from living a meaningless existence is you. What creates better choices? Learning. Learning is the main human drive at birth. We are information sponges. Our parents, our friends, society, teachers, bosses, they all project their worldview on us. Where did they get their worldview from? From their parents, their teachers, bosses, society, and their friends. Unless we question it, this is all we know. When you reach the end of high school, if you could put a number on it, less than 1% of the information available in the world, I would say less than 1% of 1% of the information in the world is known. And it's that same less than 1% of 1% that every other single person in the world knows because it was passed down by every other single person. The matrix is real. It's the web of expectations. And those web of expectations create your identity, which is the same identity as everyone else's. They get locked into the same routines, the same cycles day in, day out. School teaches us how to work silently for other people, regurgitate back what we're told, never really learning anything about how to be an independent thinker. We get locked into the known and we become slaves to it. Our identity limits what information we notice. You won't notice certain things if you haven't learned the information that bridges that gap. You won't understand intermediate or advanced information if you haven't learned beginner information. With this professional photography career, you can't advance from level 1 to level 3. If you're trying to, you're missing out on 99% of life. You don't want to suffer with that one thing, that one photography related thing. Sadly, that's the thing that'll lead you to doing exactly what you want. When we're young, we have a cycle of emotional states we go through. We drown ourselves in information that leads to the identity we want. Often, that identity isn't a positive one. It's full of empty celebrities and memes that give us a giggle, but distract us from the higher learning that we could be seeking. This brings up the power of the internet. We could tend our own personal internet to be a digital garden, or we can allow it to turn into a digital swamp. We are who we eat. Make sure who you're eating up is giving you the right knowledge. Consume knowledge that feels empowering and makes you feel like acting. This is a light meter, and hopefully you have one. If you don't, likely you're using your in-camera meter right here, but you have to know that in-camera meters are like bad girlfriends.
I'm a bad girlfriend, Doug.
They're attracted to things that are shiny, they're often manipulated, and they're easily tricked. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the 3 reasons why you would ever shoot manual. Reason number 1, you have a light meter. Manual, meaning the M mode, does not mean wing it.
I'd like to keep it on manual control for a while.
It means manual input from another source, like your light meter. Back in the day, when I used to shoot Hasselblad,
I don't know what that is.
there's no M mode on this camera. It simply gives you apertures and shutter speeds, and that's it. It doesn't even ask you what film is in the camera or if there's film in the camera at all.
So film it?
I don't know. This is completely a manual camera. When we transferred over to digital cameras, there still has to be an M mode on this camera. It's for manual input from another source, like your light meter. Your light meter reads light falling onto the subject. I have a light right here. I can take a light meter reading, and it's metering the light that's falling on my face based on the camera position there. It's an ambient light meter. You've seen this happen in absolutely every film. You continually see the DOP.
I'm not the cinematographer.
Taking light meter readings. The reason is because the light meter is accurate to 1/10 of a stop.
Very accurate and very exact.
our cameras are accurate to 1/3 of a stop. But the difference between our camera's meter and a light meter is a light meter can read light falling onto a subject. The camera can only read the light that's bouncing off the subject and reflecting back. This internal meter is a reflective meter. And the second reason that you would ever shoot manual mode is this. You're shooting several pictures of the same scene. You take a picture in aperture priority, shutter priority. You nail a perfect exposure. You switch your camera to manual mode because you're using your master frame that you've used your camera to tell you, and then you're inputting it into manual. Now, there's a third and a final reason that you would ever shoot manual mode on your camera. It's because you have decades of experience shooting in the conditions that you're shooting today. You've shot thousands.
I mean, it's just random negatives all over the place.
And thousands of rolls of film. And you have an amazing experience with shooting digital. You understand exposure for conditions that you're shooting because you have so much experience doing it. Decades of experience shooting manual mode, that creates a certain type of photographer. If you're new at photography, even a perfect normal exposure, the more experience you have, you'll realize there really is no such thing. But there are parameters and aims that we're trying to get to with exposure. This is why this light meter is probably the most important thing in your camera bag. Let's sum it up in 3 quick steps. Number 1, you're using a light meter. That's the reason to use manual mode. You're shooting in studio. This light meter also meters flash. You're aiming this dome directly at the lens. So regardless of the axis that your light's on, it's giving you a light meter reading here based on your camera position. If you have a flash back there, a flash here, a flash over there, you can take individual readings and get proper ratios. It's impossible to do that by eye. Your highlights blowing out, your highlights not appearing as highlight, that's all because you're not understanding ratios. And all of that happens when you actually understand exposure. The most important thing to get out of today's video, once you have an understanding of exposure, a true understanding of exposure, then you can really push the boundaries of what you can do with photography. If you like these short hits of photography knowledge, beginner, intermediate, or more advanced, give this video a like. I do these videos often. I also podcast 3 days a week talking to you, the emerging photographer, helping you get to a better level with your pictures, whatever that level might be. I think you should watch this video next, which is all about your photography style. Once you master that exposure, that composition, you need to start getting into style. Every word you speak about your photography is a spell. Bob Marley sings in Redemption Song, the last song he ever recorded, by the way. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Words do more than just communicate. They have the power to mold your reality. Learning how to put letters in order for others to make sense of them is called spelling. School teaches us to be obedient cogs in a machine. But what happens when you follow the line or question the wrong authority? You get expelled. Words are powerful. Add an S in front of word and you get sword. In this world, language is not just a tool for talking or writing. It's a force of transformation capable of changing your life. This is the domain of conscious language, where every word you speak or think acts like a magic spell, shaping the world around you. Conscious language is all about choosing your words deliberately to spark positive changes in your life. It's a major step up from the automatic way that we often speak without thinking, tapping into the profound influence words have on making our hopes a reality. Photography is literally magic. But your camera isn't the only tool that we have that shapes our reality. Our words do as well.
With 3 decades of experience in the industry, I've come to realize something very profound. As photographers, we're not just capturing images, we're speaking our careers into existence. Our language, believe it or not, is coated with immense power, of kind of enchantment that can define and elevate our work. Imagine this, every word that you utter about your photography is a spell, casting intentions and possibilities into the world. This realization changed everything for me. As photographers and creatives, we're creators, ones that execute ideas for ourselves and others. We can turn ideas into reality. We can freeze moments and emotions in time. Our power extends beyond just pressing the shutter button. The way that we talk about our work, our aspirations, and even our challenges acts as a code, and it's programming the trajectory of our careers. I talk so much about mindset. Our minds have been set. They've been set by other people called teachers, administrators, politicians. What I try to do here is help you, the talented creative that you are, trying to help you reset your mindset so you can build your skill set and your tool set to create assets. In my journey of over 3 decades, I've seen firsthand how the language I use influences the reception and the perception of my work. When I began, I stated my claim. I started telling people that I was a fashion photographer when I was 19. It seems nobody has any confidence anymore. When I hear shooters say, I'm not that good, or I'll probably never make a living at this, or I'll never get better at shooting portraits, they're actually just speaking those words into truth. When you start speaking of your work as my future profession or my life's work, the perception of your work will transform. Clients began to see the value of my photographs when I was 20. I believed in myself, and I continually was photographing models and improving, and I spoke my career into existence. The words that I've spoken in my life have not just been descriptors, they were powerful affirmations of my skill and my vision. This isn't just about self-affirmation. The language that we use in conversations with clients or agencies, or even the general public, that shapes their understanding and appreciation of our work. If you speak about your work with conviction and passion, people listen, they engage, and they remember. Your words become narratives that weave through your portfolio, adding depth and context to your visuals. Think of each sentence that you speak or write as a sentence in the larger book of your career. These sentences, these spells that you cast, they connect together to form the story of who you are as a creator. Words are code. Are you coding your narrative with confidence, with creativity, with professionalism? Or are your words unintentionally writing an empty or less compelling story? Or are you not using your words at all? Are you actually trying to stay invisible? This realization about the power of language was a turning point for me. I shifted how I talked about myself, how I talked about my work, how I negotiated contracts, and how I connected with my audience. I learned that my language could open new doors to new opportunities and collaborations. It could build bridges where there were none before. Each word that I choose is deliberate, and this is the turnaround point for my career. So, to you, the emerging photographer out there watching me, understand this. Your camera captures your ideas in the world as you create them, and your words project that vision outward to the world alongside your photography. You're not just working with ISOs, apertures, and shutter speeds, you're working with words and metaphors. Every photo description, every conversation, every social media post, every email, they're powerful spells that you're casting. Conscious language isn't just about getting what you want, it's about speaking with integrity, always aiming to benefit not just yourself, but those around you. Words are not just mere tools for chatting. They hold a kind of magic, shaping our experiences and touching deeper layers of our being than we often realize. Imagine just how hearing the word love can brighten your mood, or how fear might make you feel uneasy. Words reach deep into our psyche, triggering emotions and coloring our worldviews. Think about the vibes that your words send out. Are they positive, life-affirming, or are they always downers? Every word that you speak casts a ripple effect, influencing not just your listeners, but also bouncing back to you. By embracing conscious language, you're essentially choosing to spread positivity and build better realities for yourself and others. As photographers, using conscious language lets you cast your words with wisdom, turning everyday chats into opportunities for growth and positive impact. It's about making every word count, aligning your speech with your aspirations, and shaping your perspective and actions for the better. This approach doesn't just change the way that you talk, it transforms your way of thinking, encouraging a new narrative in your mind that uplifts and supports you. By choosing your words with care and intention, we harness the ability to create positive changes in our lives and the world around us, showing the profound connection between consciousness in this material world and the concept of shaping our reality through language. It's akin to the meticulous artistry of lighting, shooting an amazing portrait, making a still life. Just as you select your subject matter and framing with purpose, we can choose our words with the same deliberate intent, creating massive changes in our lives. This practice of ancient spell casting transcends above the negative words that we use daily to embrace the true power of communication. Throughout history, various cultures have understood and harnessed this. Words wield transformative power. At the heart of this practice is intention. Every word that we speak carries an energy that impacts the world. By articulating our desires with focused intent, we start the process of manifestation, turning our aspirations into reality. So here's how you can apply this ancient wisdom. Define your intent. Be clear about what you want to achieve. Envision your goal with precision to create a focused intention. Choose your words. Select language that resonates with your desired outcome. Words should be uplifting and constructive, mirroring the energy that you wish to manifest. Spend no time thinking of negative outcomes. Any energy that you give to negativity makes it thrive, even if it's the energy that you're giving to the fear that you might feel. Speak with belief. Pronounce your words with conviction. Your faith and belief permeates your language with the strength to affect change. Act. Align your actions with your words. This alignment amplifies the energy, reinforcing the manifestation process. Talk is cheap, so action. Let go. Release your attachment to the outcome. Trust the timing and manner in which the universe works, allowing your desires to materialize naturally. If you believe in only positive outcomes will always find you. By adopting this approach, you position yourself as the architect of your destiny. You're not just merely casting words into the void, but you're actively participating in shaping your existence. This method isn't about exerting control, but aligning yourself with the universe rhythms and treating your words as sacred tools that pave your path. Engage with this art form respectfully and watch as your reality transforms, reflecting the power of your words and your intentions. Accountability is another cornerstone of ethical language use. Reflect on your intentions, ensuring that they align with your core values and contribute positively to those around you. If your words cause unintended harm, take responsibility, offer a genuine apology, and learn from the experience. Embrace conscious language, not just as a tool for personal growth, but also for empowering and uplifting others. Your words have the power to inspire change and to promote values like justice and compassion. By using conscious language thoughtfully, you contribute to a collective wave of positive transformation, building a more inclusive and empathetic world. Positive affirmations are a powerful method to change how you think and feel about yourself, effectively reshaping your reality. By adopting affirmations, you're tapping into the ability to rewire your brain, fostering positive changes in your attitudes in life. This approach works much like updating the software in your mind, introducing a new constructive thought patterns to replace outdated negative ones. Repeating affirmations, you're planting seeds of optimism and growth in your mental garden, and you nurture them to develop them into positive changes. Studies suggest that this practice alters the brain's neural pathways, influencing your actions, your emotional state, your overall sense of well-being. To make the most of the affirmations, it's vital to pick phrases that genuinely resonate with you in a specific aspect of your life that you need to improve. If confidence is an area that you need to fix, start saying, "I am worthy, I'm a good person, I'm deserving of success and happiness." It might seem flaky to you, but The affirmations that I say to myself have been incredibly impactful. Consistency is crucial for affirmations to work. Make it a habit to recite your chosen phrases daily, whether out loud or in your mind. Write them down and put them in visible spots around your workspace. The more that you interact with your affirmations, the deeper they embed into your subconscious, steering your thought process towards positivity. Embrace this understanding. Speak about your work with the same passion in which you make your work. Describe your work with precision and love. When you talk to clients, let your language reflect the uniqueness of your perspective. Be bold in stating your aspirations. Let your words paint the picture of a photographer who's not just skilled with the camera, but profound with thought and vision. Reflect on how you've been talking about your work. Have your words been coding a narrative of growth, aspiration, success, or have they been coding a more downplayed, reserved, negative mindset? Remember, you're actually speaking spells, positive or negative. Code your language with ambition and the realization of your dreams, and combine that with the professionalism that you bring into focus with every image. In my 33 years of photographing the faces of today's generation, the greatest lessons I've learned is that my words are as important as my work. My negative words and thoughts have also manifested into reality way quicker than I would have liked. Positive or negative, words are powerful yet unseen forces that have shaped my reality. I shifted my mindset, my language, and that completely changed my reality. The reason that you might not be starting your photography business could be because you have no followers or low followers. If you know your photography niche and you've created work that brings value to that niche, you can start your content creation business today. You can stop waiting. Notice I said content creation business and not photography business. You're never going to be truly ready to start. And by the way, if you're waiting for the perfect conditions, the right amount of followers, or all the YouTube knowledge you can soak in, you should probably finish this video though, because I'm going to help you break the cycle. How do we learn? We learn by doing. You managed to learn how to make photographs by doing what? Picking up a camera, setting your intention, and then doing it. Why would starting your photography business be any different? You're going to suck at this in the beginning, by the way. If you're not willing to start though, you're only lengthening the time that you're going to be a terrible freelancer. You do need a plan though, and your plan becomes clearer and clearer by the day after you start. There is a way to start getting paid clients, and you could start doing those reps today. Right now, there's 5 key areas of focus that you need to put all your energy into in order to have a successful photography business. 5, start your entrepreneurial journey without waiting for the followers. Embrace the fact that you can do this starting from scratch. Necessary numbers. That's number 1. How much money do you need to make every month in order to sustain and grow a profitable business? Focus on the essential numbers for your business, like conversion rates, rather than social media followers or other vanity metrics. What's your nut? Say the amount of money that you need to make per month is $4,000, and $4,000, that's not a lot of money. Imagine, you could do that a couple of different ways. You could make $400 10 times, or you could make $1,000 4 times. Which one seems easier? If you target the kinds of clients that have $1,000 to pay for a photo shoot and only having to get 4 of them per month in order to make the same amount of money as you're making right now, magnetic messaging. You need to learn the skill of writing, and you need to do that targeted towards an audience that's your niche. How you craft magnetic messaging is not by selling. We don't need to sell when we're giving something that a client needs and wants. It's a transformational experience. This was you before, and this is you after we do our session. Once you think of it that way, it becomes super easy to sell the transformation. And once you've photographed a couple of people and you've got testimonials, that's literally hard evidence where people are actually saying, I've worked with this photographer, here's the result. They're great. Here's an action that you can do. Create a transformation statement that encapsulates exactly what you have to offer. Ensure that all your communication aligns with this messaging, a pipeline of prospects.
We can create an ongoing pipeline of potential clients if we do it properly. Now, when it comes to creating a prospects pipeline of potential clients ensures a steady flow of business opportunities. Authentic relationship building. You need to build authentic relationships with your potential clients, because building relationships is how people become clients. And then once you have them as a client, maintain that authentic relationship, and that's going to keep people there forever. Daily revenue generating activities. Daily activities should be aligned with generating revenue. This is showing you what type of activities actually generate clients. What you're learning from everything that you're doing day to day when you actually start your freelance career is you're learning what works and what doesn't. If you need 4 clients per month and regularly engaging with people every day brings in potentials, if you focus on that only, it'll completely change your reality. This helps you optimize and only focus on the things that actually move the needle. So identify the key things that you're doing during the day that lead to connections. Those connections will lead to sales, and focus your daily efforts only on those activities. Regularly review these activities and adjust day to day what's working and what's not. Maintaining consistency and focusing on the right activities are crucial for sustainable business growth. Every day when you wake up, ask yourself this: what can I do to get a client to work with me today? What value could I bring a stranger today? At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do today to bring value to somebody? This becomes a great test of what you're actually doing on a daily basis. What's actually helping your business and what's not? When you interact genuinely with potential clients, actually show interest in their needs. If you're not trying to push for this sale, how does it feel when you walk into Best Buy and they're saying, hey, do you need a TV? Or hey, can I help you? You're like, no. And if they try harder, you resist harder. When someone goes into the Apple store, everything's there. You get to touch everything. You can just ask anybody, hey, can I have a MacBook Pro? And they're like, yeah, let me go get one for you. It becomes super easy, and they don't have to sell because Macs sell themselves. When you provide value and show interest in your potential clients' needs without immediately pushing for the sale, magic things happen. Here's something. Ask this of every potential client. Ask them this: what's your biggest frustration about X? What's your biggest fear about X? Insert your specific niche. Imagine you're a photographer who shoots food and beverage. Ask a restaurant owner, what's your biggest pain point about marketing your restaurant? How hard has it been for you to find a photographer that you can work with consistently, that understands your goals? These are the kinds of questions that you ask. Where do you think that you need the most support? Here's a great one. If money was no object, what would you do with your business? When you ask that to a potential client, it makes their mind kind of go off into ideal situations. Once they tell you that answer, you can create a solution tailor-made for them. And the thing that's amazing about this, there's no pressure. You're trying to see if there's a fit with you and the client. And also, you don't have to work for everybody. That's why you ask these questions. The ones that there is a fit, go deep. The ones that aren't a fit, keep them on your list. Maybe there'll be a job later. Maybe they'll refer you to somebody else. Bring value to one person per day. Learn about them. Learn about what they need, and then make content to serve them. That's how you blow up a social media account.
Hey, today we're going to dive deep into the world of professional photography. Aspiring photographers often focus solely on capturing amazing images, but today we'll explore why that's only a fraction of what successful photographers do. In this video, I'll uncover the secrets that separate the pros from the amateurs and reveal valuable tips to help you build a sustainable career in photography. Every short hit, a professional photography insight that you get here on YouTube is important, so please soak in all that you can. Number 1, you've heard me say this before, specialization. Successful pros know that specializing is crucial. Let me show you how specialized I am. Imagine you're a magazine from New York and you have a subject you're profiling in Toronto. You don't know any shooters here, so you turn to Google. You type editorial portraits Toronto. What do you see? Steve Carty photographer. I get magazine assignments like this probably once a month. This is the power of specialization. Number 2, investing in quality equipment. Your gear can significantly impact your ability to make money and save money in the long run. Consider investing in reliable equipment, especially if you shoot events or weddings that can't be recreated. Having 2 camera bodies, by the way, is a thing. A backup body can be a lifesaver in critical moments and even allow you to venture into video work. I have one full-frame Pro rig that I've been using for doing all the heavy lifting, but I just invested in 2 mirrorless bodies, which will help so much with my multicam 4K setups, my YouTube videos, shooting thumbnails when I need to have my R5 in my hand. Having a camera body with dual card slots also can safeguard your data and prevent data loss disasters. The R5 has dual card slots, one CF Express super fast card that I use to write up to 8K raw video, and a super fast SD card slot that I use for all my pro photo shoots. When I'm shooting stills only, I have my data writing to both cards. Remember, investing in high quality memory cards is worth it for the safety of your work. There's only 2 reasons to invest in equipment. Number 1, I buy gear that makes me money, or 2, saves me money. Number 3, running your photography business like a pro. Successful photographers treat their passion like a full-fledged business. Don't undervalue your skills. Charge what you're worth. Be consistent with your pricing and have set prices for various types of shoots. Early in my career, I set a minimum look-through fee, or the lowest rate that I would accept to pick up my camera. You also have to have a minimum fee that you set for yourself and promise yourself not to shoot for less. It's not just your time that they're paying for, it's your creativity, then your gear, your computer, your software, and all the technical knowledge. All of that stuff costs money. By the way, this part's hard to take, but you'll likely fail in this business if you race to the bottom with your prices. It's okay to be too expensive. I'd rather be too expensive than be the budget choice or the low-cost alternative. What's the most important is that you get good enough so you can charge the type of rates that won't have you competing with the hacks in the first place. You can be the best in your category, the best in your town, the best in your city. Number 4, you don't know what you don't know. We can't concept the scope of the things that we don't know. There's so much information out there about how to be a pro. The ones that know the most about this photography business usually win. Take courses if you need to. Get a coach, get a mentor. Every successful photographer had another successful photographer guide them. Sometimes it's called being an assistant. Sometimes it's called being an apprentice. Photography school and self-learning can only take you so far. Speaking to someone that is currently doing what you're trying to do is the path of least resistance. We can't even concept the scope of the things that we don't know. Admitting that we know nothing is the beginning of understanding. I've been doing this for 30 years and I still learn every single day. Turning photography into a full-time profession requires immense dedication and effort. It's a lifelong journey. It's not a sprint, and it's never over. But we can have fun with it. We can turn it into a game. If you've turned your photography career into a game, wouldn't you play harder? Here's a bonus for making it this far. To truly succeed, you have to make your work desirable and exclusive. Emphasize the originality of your photography, making it something that not just everybody gets to have. By doing this, you increase your photography's value and you create a sense of rarity. By the way, the quality of your work has to match. It can't be just all style and no substance. Those in the know can see the difference between high quality content and forgettable. Your understanding of professional level work versus the stuff that everyone else is doing is kind of crucial. That only comes from research. It helps if you get your photography inspiration from places that go beyond Instagram. By the way, if Instagram's the main place that you look at photography, you're missing the boat. Don't get me wrong, there is photography inspiration to be found on Instagram, but seeing it on a phone screen isn't how work is supposed to be viewed. Open Behance on the big screen. Search your niche and see what working photographers within your specialty are sharing in their portfolios. It'll be an eye-opener, I guarantee it. Equally important, The energy, experience, and professionalism of just working with you should also be invaluable to your clients. You ever feel like you're banging your head against a wall, trying to push your photography skills to the next level, but somehow it doesn't translate to the success that you're aiming for? You're not alone in this. Many creative folks face this same situation. You got the talent, you have your stuff technically, but you're not turning that into a thriving career. You understand that's a whole other challenge. And it's not just about the stiff competition or there's too many photographers out there. You have to ask yourself, are you practicing your craft every day? The magic of photography lies in your presence, your persistence, and your commitment, even in those days where inspiration seems super far away. That discipline is not just about honing in on your skills, it's about preparing you for those times when your clients will rely on your ability to deliver, no matter what. Beyond shooting as often as we can, there's also something deeper, something we often don't pay enough attention to, which is all about our mindset, the way that we see things. The you shooting as often as you can part, you have to take care of that one. But in this video, let's jump in and explore the hidden factor. It might just be the key to unlocking the success you've been working so hard for. Let's talk about the paradigm issue. We have to understand the paradigm. I know that there's many incredibly talented individuals in creative fields like photography who are brimming with knowledge, technical expertise, but they haven't quite figured out how to turn that into money. Often this struggle to achieve their desired results can be linked back to their unaltered paradigms. These are deeply ingrained subconscious beliefs and habits that subtly dictate our actions and our reactions. Most of the time, we're not even aware of their influence. Remember, this has an impact on your professional life. In the world of photography, this issue manifests in so many ways. Photographers might know the technical stuff or have an eye for aesthetics or even a creative flair, but they struggle to monetize their skills. They struggle to network effectively or confidently market their unique style. This disconnect stems from an underlying paradigm that influences their professional choices and their opportunities, and why you may feel like you have nowhere to turn. There is a gap between the conscious and the subconscious mind. Have you ever noticed that sometimes there's a big difference between what we think we know and what our subconscious actually believes? It's like on one hand, we know we have the skills and the knowledge to succeed, but deep down, our subconscious might not be on the same page. That mismatch can really be frustrating. It makes us feel stuck or like we're not living up to our actual potential, even though we have all the tools to be killing it. The solution is a paradigm shift. You have to identify the need for change. It all starts from realizing the need to switch up those deep-rooted mindsets, especially in a field as competitive as photography. It's important to understand it's not just about learning new skills or cramming in more knowledge. What's really crucial is tweaking your underlying beliefs and your habits. That's the game changer. So you have to work on constantly inputting education and awareness into your actions. It's super important to learn about how our subconscious works and how these paradigms get set up in the first place. This understanding is the starting point for making real changes. It's all about realizing that the paradigms that we have now were mostly shaped when we were young, and they've just been strengthened over time by our repeated actions and thoughts. There's real power in repetition, by the way. Did you know that you can actually shift your paradigms by regularly introducing new ideas and thoughts? It's about consciously filling your mind with positive affirmations, visualizing success, and adopting new ways of thinking that match up with the goals that you're trying to achieve. It's like reprogramming your mind for the better. We know that the military uses repetition in training, both the training we know about and the secret stuff. We can, in fact, implement change. Set clear, achievable goals for your photography. Think about what you really want to achieve in your photography career. This could mean setting certain financial goals, deciding on the kind of projects that you want to work on, or learning new photography techniques, or even carving out your own unique photography style. It's all about knowing exactly where you want to go and what you want to accomplish. Why not create some daily affirmations that really speak to your goals? Like you could say, I'm a successful photographer making $250,000 a year. Make it a habit to repeat those affirmations regularly. Doing this helps you really plant them deep into your subconscious mind. Practice regularly visualizing and achieving your goals. Imagine the feelings, the experiences, and the satisfaction of realizing your photography dreams. This step is crucial for aligning your subconscious with your conscious objectives. Dive into some motivational talks. Pick up books on personal growth and check out workshops that focus on training your subconscious mind and succeeding in the photography business. These kinds of resources are great for giving you fresh perspectives and strengthening your dedication to making these changes. It's a good idea to regularly check in on goals and how you're doing. And also, be open to tweaking your strategies, your affirmations, or even your goals if you need to. Being flexible like this is really important for growth and making sure that you're always on track with what you want to achieve. Keep in mind that trying to shift your mindset might feel a bit odd at first. Stay the course. We all feel that way. Get ready to step outside your comfort zone. This is going to be your new favorite thing to do. It could mean trying necessary needed photography techniques, experimenting with different marketing approaches, or branching out to grow your professional network. Feeling awkward? It's all part of the growth process. That awkward feeling goes away as soon as it starts to work. It's really helpful to put together a group of people who got your back. Think mentors, fellow photographers, a community that's rooting for you. That network is awesome for giving you encouragement, helpful advice, and a sense of belonging while you're making your way through all these changes. It's all about putting that new mindset to work in new practical ways to advance your photography career. This could mean tweaking your pricing, reaching out to different kinds of clients, or even putting money into better equipment or better training. It's all about making those changes where they really count. Remember, changing your mindset isn't something that happens instantly. It takes patience, persistence, and a lot of ongoing effort. Think of it as a journey of self-discovery and growth that happens bit by bit over time. Here's a thought you might not have considered. Having multiple income streams is super important for achieving financial independence, especially in the photography world. Think about it. Diversifying what you earn is key to staying stable as well as growing. And if you're feeling stuck, whether it's in a job that's not clicking for you or if you're in a creative slump, it's crucial to find what really lights your fire. Making room in your life for what inspires you opens doors for growth and new opportunities. Shifting gears in your photography career isn't just about changing things on the outside. It's really about tweaking the way that you think and see things internally. Once you get this and start taking consistent steps, something brilliant happens. Your subconscious beliefs start turning into your conscious goals. Next thing you know, your ideas start actually becoming the life that you're living. Reprogramming your thinking is one of the first steps to changing your reality. One of the mantras that I say every day is money comes frequently and easily. I say it over and over and over again because I actually believe that this is fact, and over time, this has become my reality. You can believe it or not, but athletes, millionaires, CEOs are all using these paradigm shifts to become the top 1%. This harmony can bring big changes in both your personal and your professional life. It's all about aligning everything to shape the career and the life that you're dreaming of. I've gone through some dark times during this 30-year career. The problem, I didn't know how destructive my yearly cycle actually was. It was just a normal phase of my life. When it was warm outside, work was good. So my life was good. But when it got cold outside, I live in Canada. When it got slow, it's insane to me now that my standards back then and my good days back then would be my useless time-wasting days now. I had forgotten how to push into the unknown with my life and my photography career. So many people have no idea how much better they could feel, how much better their photography life or their life in general could be. I didn't realize that my normal state back then was a bottom of the barrel life. I'd start my days at 11 or 12. I was eating like shit. I was consuming beers almost every evening. I was snacking on M&Ms as food, and I wasn't very social in real life or online. Daily, I'd feel like garbage, and I would just sit and binge watch episodes on Netflix. Although I had an amazing portfolio, I was just sitting and waiting for work. I had no idea what I should be doing day to day. Thank God I managed to snap myself out of it, and I learned a lot along the way. So here's some free photography career advice for you, the smart one. The words, by the way, that I share here aren't for everybody, and I'm more than okay with that. The information that a pro photographer takes the time to share with you is invaluable, whether you're in a studio assisting or you're right there watching me. If your attention span can't handle it, or if you've only trained your mind with short sugar hits, this good for you information that I like to share on my channel, it's not gonna taste right. But for some of you, this no bullshit approach of the way that I deliver photography information, you're gonna find refreshing. My goal here is to share the things that I've learned during this 3-decade journey. Some of the things that I wanna talk about isn't sexy for the average YouTube viewer, which is why I don't care about the average YouTube viewer. I care about you, the one that's taking the time to watch this right now and sees the value in listening. Do you need to be stimulated by quick cuts and repetitive B-roll? By the way, I've tried that, and many of my smarter viewers said, you don't need to trick us with tactics that other photographers use to hook us. I've been told that I have great information, so I've been focused on delivering just that. Helpful, true information. Some of the truths that I talk about here, they're gonna piss you off, but it's super simple to go watch someone else. Go watch someone that gives you those short dopamine hits rather than watching me. Someone that puts thoughts in your head, someone that challenges you, someone that makes you think, or God forbid, makes you wanna act. Now, back to my story. The freedom of freelancing is an excuse to adopt self-destructive habits. I barely did any of the things necessary to run a business. Even after decades doing it, I never actually learned the skills that I needed to run a successful photography business. There wasn't photography business class when I was in photography school, and I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't take any business courses on my own or talk to any photographers about how they ran their businesses, and because of that, my business never really blew up. I had some good years, but way too many bad ones. During lockdown, I hit rock bottom. At night, I'd spend 5 to 7 hours playing Call of Duty. My son was online sometimes, and I did play with him, but most of the time I was just streaming on Twitch to 5 people. I was numbing my mind to escape the mindset, the business knowledge, and the challenges that I was hiding from. I realized that I was embracing the suck too much for too long. The difference between video games and real life is pretty simple. It's fake risk in a video game versus real risk, real pain, real fear, and the real sacrifices of real life. All the things that allow pleasure, love, and results exist in a video game. You can fail without repercussion. You die and you respawn. In life, you can't hide behind your screen and hope that there won't be any kind of failure. Failure in life is necessary to grow and progress like you do in a video game. But with gaming, we trick our minds into thinking that we're actually making progress. We level up, we acquire new skills, we acquire a play style, we unlock guns and operators, and it triggers this reward system in our brain. We get satisfaction. We enjoy the comfort and security of diving into the fake unknown of a video game that gives us this false reward. It's all just backwards. I was doing the same thing in my life. I was hiding from the necessary failures, and I'd forgotten how to push into the unknown. Pushing into the unknown is how I started my photography career. Pushing into the unknown, that brings true progress and rewards in your life. I was getting my rewards from video games and suffering like an artist rather than pursuing my photography goals and actually making progress. The sleeping late, processed food, and gaming binges kept me in a tight dopamine loop after COVID. So when things finally opened up, I didn't really feel the need to pursue anything greater. I hadn't set any goals or made any plans. Everything was fine because I let it be fine. My life sucked because I let it suck. My career wasn't going anywhere because I wasn't making it go anywhere. I've learned so much from the creators that I find here on YouTube, and I've curated a beautiful YouTube feed. Someone that I've learned so much from in the past weeks is Dan Coe. These are just a few of his quotes that absolutely shook me last last week. I added the parts that related to me and my photography career. Your life sucks because of the thousands of small choices that you've made over the past year. You haven't made the choices that'll lead to a successful photography career. You haven't made the choices that lead to fulfilling relationships. You haven't made the choices that lead to a healthy and aesthetic body. But Carty, what about my genetics or the city that I was born? My job that doesn't give me time to shoot? Yes, those things do play a role, but you're just making another choice right now to close your mind off to the potential choice that you could be making to get yourself out of your current situation so you can free up more time to be creative with your camera. Move locations if you have to. Do whatever you need to do in order to make better choices for your life. Choices come after choices. You don't just make the choice to quit your job without making the prior choices that allow you to do just that. Choose to get better with your camera. Choose to get better at business. Choose to make a plan. The ability to choose cannot be taken away or even given away. It can only be forgotten. And remember this, you're not a special case. There's thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands or millions, that have been in the same situation that you've been and have made the choices that have allowed them to get out of that situation. I've been in situations, by the way, where I felt absolutely fucked and I lived. Going through those experiences, I learned, and I've learned how to reduce the amount of times that I find myself up against the wall. Because I've been in that situation before, I have the foresight to see those situations coming before they happen. And of course, naturally, I've set myself up so I'm not up against the wall in the first place. What I'm saying to you today, the struggling photographer, is there is a way out of whatever it is that you're struggling with. If your business isn't growing, that's your fault. You haven't zoomed out or developed the skills to be able to register what the problem is with your photography business so you can solve it and continue growing. You don't know what you don't know. Make the effort to change that. If you're not quite at the part where you're ready to start your photography business, your focus should be on the work. The work is the most important part of any photography business. So set time to learn how to get better at the things you need in order to grow. Pushing into the unknown will make your work better, and pushing into the unknown will make your photography business definitely better. We learn by doing the things that are difficult more than once, and failure is how we really learn. We have to push into the unknown in order to discover the skill or the mindset or whatever that allows us to reach that next mental place. And then from that higher level of mind, we can come back to that situation and we can solve any problem. Einstein said, "You can't solve a problem from the same mind that created it." And Picasso said, "When I run out of red, I use blue." So, how do you unfuck your photography life? Or unfuck your life in general? Increasing our mental capacity comes first. Increasing our mental capacity comes from pushing into the unknown. We have to cultivate new skills, we have to understand new knowledge, and we have to get out of the comfortable routine and daily cycle that we dig ourselves into. The quality of your life 1 year from now will depend on the little choices that you make every single day. And by the way, you don't have to make perfect choices. It's actually better if you make mistakes. The greatest risk is no risk at all. How else would you fail without failure? Improvement is literally impossible without failure. So fail big. It's how we learn photography. Big fails mean bigger lessons, bigger growth, new skills, and a better you next time. Without failure, there can't be improvement. And without continually striving for improvement, there's no aim or direction in your life. And without aim or direction in your life, everything becomes meaningless. Apply this to your photography business. Apply this to everything.